Hello, everybody, and welcome back to ANIPOD presents the In-Quy'zz-ition. I am your lovely host, as always, Dippy the DM, and these are my lovely players. Say hello, lovely players.
Hi, lovely players.
Hey, Rhys.
Hi, Dadley.
Hey, Jim Bob. Hey, hey, Marco.
Polo.
So, today we are finally back on Twitch with the In-Quy'zz-ition, which means that you can use your channel points again. Woo! And it's all kinds of fun stuff. So, it's been a hot minute, guys, since we even ran an episode, let alone an episode on Twitch. But very quickly, we gotta be talking on that grind and speaking to the audience about the importance of something. I don't fucking know. So
where are you going with it? I normally try to back you up. I don't know.
Normally I'm thinking about sponsors at this point, but I'm like, wait a minute, we don't have a sponsor right now.
Tabletop audio.
Tabletop audio.
So
that's right. Yes. Tabletop audio. All of the wonderful audio that you're hearing right now for the sounds of the city are being brought to you by tabletopaudio.com. They provide ambient tracks, background tracks, music tracks, sound effects, and the customization of soundboards with those sound effects, so for you to create your perfect tabletop audio experience. Hey, it's almost like it's in the name. You can link it to your voice assistants. You can use it on stream as long as you give them a shout, and that's exactly what we're doing here. Thank you, tabletopaudio.com, for being the music to our ears. We'd also like to give a shout out to me, because I have my own YouTube channel. No, but the ANIPOD YouTube, the ANIPOD YouTube channel.
No, Dippy, promote yourself.
Go for it.
I don't have anything in the pipeline yet, for a new video, but my videos that I've made recently, have been alright. We also
great talking about NASCAR and Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah.
If those things interest you, go check out Dippy's channel. Not at the same time. No, like you don't have to be in a Venn diagram. Just one of those. If you are in the Venn diagram, Dippy's single.
I appreciate that, Declan. You are in that Venn diagram. So, thank you so much for stopping by and watching today, ladies and gentlemen, and others. We are bringing you back to New Urk City in today's episode. The party has finally made it to the city campaign aspect of this campaign, because I've always wanted to run a campaign in a mega city, and now I get to. So, as you can see, one of our players is missing at the moment, and that would be Dono. Dono is on a spring break vacation with his family. So we are wishing him safe travels and wonderful times with his family. He should be back. Will he be back for the episode of Dapper D's on Monday?
Yeah, he'll be here for the Dapper D's on Monday.
Yeah, that's good. So we'll have that premiering. Yeah. We'll actually have that premiering on YouTube because it was the last thing we did before we swapped over to the Twitch. So check the YouTube channel for the next episode of the Dapper D's, because it will be only on YouTube. Where we do
right after that on Tuesday would be Dark Energy.
Yes, we're going back and we're doing Dark Energy with Dadley as the DM. A lot of the players you see here will be in that as well. Or, well, some of the players that you see here will be in that as well. Two players and me.
3, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. What else? We're not doing anything after that Tuesday. We will be back next week. From today, next week, with another episode of the In-Quy'zz-ition for you. Since we've gone so long without doing one, we're going to do 2 of them back to back in a nice little, so we're going to give that to you. And I think that's it. Happy Easter weekend if you celebrate, and if you don't, happy solstice. Otherwise,
if you don't believe in the sun, enjoy your weekend.
If you don't believe in the sun, enjoy your weekend. So, who wants to make their best attempt at a recap of the last episode? Oh, Chaos is on the phone. So I guess that leaves it down to you, Allie.
We stopped in an inn, right? That happened last time. We played some music. We got a free
Nukebound.
room.
Oh yeah, Nukebound.
Yeah.
The episode
Burk
that
sucks at the pipes. I wrote that down. I wrote actually Burk sucks pipes, but I think there's just something in between there.
Oh no.
We picked up a Serpentious that's not a Serpentious.
I have his name written down. I will attempt to pronounce it. Sieshisasu.
Chelsea
I think
Sasu.
it's Chelsea
Chelsea Sasu.
Sold
Close
seashells
in.
at the seashore.
Or did for sure.
You're sure.
We had an invigorating conversation. Well, some of us had an invigorating conversation about if they lose one of their names because they lost a family member or not. I have that specifically noted here.
I have it noted, don't add S's to the boat name because it's cultural appropriation.
And you got an inspiration point for that?
Sundial had a funky dream. Burk had a funky dream. I didn't write down what they were about. We learned about Zog's ex-wife.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That happened. Lawyer.
You entered into the city, into
we're at the city now.
into the underground water transportation tunnels of the city, and you learned that Zog has a connection in the underground tunnels to come
Zog
here
had
all
a
the
private
time.
dock.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And now,
Hasn't been used in a hot minute, but
and look, it's a very nice box for my trinkets. Another box for my trinkets. What's going on? It's Trinketville. And you are now on the surface, viewing the city before you, which you can see on the stream in the preview, in the landscape preview image, which I implemented in the last episode because I love that idea so
Yes.
much. Close that. There we go.
What borough are
And
we in?
you are in. Oh fuck, that's a good question. I think I
we have
told
a
y'all
map?
last time.
Allie would know the boroughs.
Of the
I didn't write it
city,
down.
no, we do not, unfortunately.
Okay.
The Urks are not exactly the map-making type. They just kind of memorize the streets, and there are maps for underground. There are maps for the underground water tunnels and maps for like. But they're basically just like they're like London Underground maps. They're like this is a point on a map with a line between the points.
I need to know going forward. Is this a like New York City? This is 78th Street connected to 3rd Street, or is this like Boston? Everything is curved. That street is Sam Adams, and that street is Henry Hudson. Like,
Well, you'll
Like,
see
is it
when you get. Well,
organized or
you'll
chaos?
see when you start walking around, won't you?
no, but Zog would know this.
So Zog, in your
would
previous
also know.
experience,
Yes.
time for the info dump about New Urk City.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So,
Give it to me, Dungeon Daddy.
New Urk City is a. It's how long was that? 5 seconds for me to process what you said. So New Urk City is built out of the derelict ruins of a megalopolis that was inhabited by a lot of the pre-cataclysm races known as the predecessors. And the predecessors were composed of like elves and like ancient type races like that. We just learned recently that plasmoids are among those. But the predecessors had a thing for technological growth and innovation, record keeping and scientific innovation, and they built this massive city as a giant central hub for all of those people to come together, live together, work together, study together, innovate together. So the cataclysm happens, and the exit wound for the meteor that hits the planet is right next to this city, and it wipes out many of the predecessors, leaving behind empty, shattered buildings. Like, loads and loads of buildings that were made and either destroyed in the explosion or remained standing but are basically just abandoned. Then a tribe of orcs finds this city, finds this city in the rebuilding years of the continent when everything is sort of like, everything reset to the Stone Ages, basically, and then orcs go find this city with everything in it, and some of the technology that was innovated still survived. And these orcs got smarter by association. They basically went from these, like, for lack of a better way to put it, tribalistic, instinctual, hunter-gatherer type thing to civilized in a very short period of time. But they're still orcs. They still like what they like as orcs. They still do what they do as orcs. And a lot of the buildings changed into, like, a skyscraper that used to be used for business and science is now used for showcasing trophies and living and apartments and living things like that. Zog, you remember one of the tall buildings in this place is a stacked zoo. It's literally encased in glass, and each floor is a different exhibit with a different animal on it. Some of them are open because they're docile, some of them are closed because they're not. And you recall a story in the newspaper of the city where one of the hostile animals broke out of a 20th story window and plummeted to its death. It was very sad. So they reinforced the glass in that building after that incident, and you can see it. It's like you see a skyline of huge skyscrapers, and there's one that you can very specifically see is crisscrossed with iron bars and glass, and it has zoological tower written, but it's very poorly spelled, and it is the sign, like 2 of the letters are burnt out, so it says like zoological tower. Zoological tower. It's very, yeah.
Zog is just now realizing it's misspelled for the first time in his life.
And it's just like, wait, what?
Wouldn't that happen? And
it boomed in population. There are now millions of Urks in this city by last census count, which I have that too in my sheet, in my lovely little sheet.
I need to stress, all of this started one day of Dippy showing me a spreadsheet and being like, I made a D&D world. And it's this massive spreadsheet that is beautiful.
By last census count, there were 15 million people inhabiting this city alone.
Whoa.
Yeah, so it's packed. Some would say overpacked.
That's too many people. Like 6 tops.
6 too many. But you also know and see as you're kind of walking along viewing the propaganda, some of the propaganda, that there's a lot of political campaign posters for alliances against what is called the Allfather, which is basically one Urk who is the signed into law about 60 years ago, one Urk who is the god mayor of New Urk City. He ascends to a position of power where everybody in the city below him believes that he is a god. To an extent, he kind of is, because he has the life of 15 million people in his hands. And, well, we'll get to him, maybe.
Yeah.
But now,
we'll figure his
you're in
whole
the city
deal
streets.
out.
Yeah, you're in the city streets. You can see these buildings are like crisscrossed with wires and lines and walking bridges. Some of them elevated stair bridges, some of them just level bridges. Some of them are just literally rope bridges from one broken out window to another broken out window, and it's terrifying. There are carts traveling on smoothed out cobblestone streets, like it was cobbled and then like everything, all the pavement was put in between it. But it's been in use for so long that the cobble has been flattened. It's been worn out. There are grooves where carts' wheels kind of slip into or like fit into, and they just ride along. And people trip over them all the time, and people laugh. It's huge. It's remarkable. And the first spot across from the subterranean water station that you come up out of, you watch as Shelzisasu thanks you. I think he did last session. He thanks you, and he goes off amongst the crowd, sticking out like a sore thumb. And the first building that you see is a coffee shop called Moon Dollars.
And are we close to like my ex-wife's law firm? At least from what I remember last time I was
From here?
Yes.
Make a left, make a right, go down a little bit, make a left again. Yeah, you're within walking distance.
Okay.
Then again,
so,
most everything is here.
Zog turns to the group, just like, all right, I'm gonna grab coffee and then head over to my ex-wife's. You guys are more than free to tag along, or just, I don't know, Allie, you know the city pretty well. If there's something you need to just, I don't know how long I'm gonna be, and I don't want to bore you guys with like.
As of now, you are in the Puddles Borough, which is the borough that is closest. That is the borough that is closest to the Land of a Thousand Puddles,
which is not near my home, right?
No,
we established that before. I'm on the other side of the city.
You were. We established that you were in either the Hollows. You were either in the Hollows or you were in the borough, which is literally called Slummy.
It's the Hollows.
The Hollows.
We established that underground there is a boat system.
Yes.
Is that also like a subway system? Like, are there just boats that are going to get to borough?
You'll go down there and you'll find out. So, in your experience, there are points underground where people live and operate and work as well. But there are far less than those above the surface of the planet. There are some high-speed boats that travel these waterways. And you remember one of them crashing into your boat one time. You had to force him to pay repairs.
Yes.
And it was literally just like a flat bottom ski boat, just like that runs along in the tunnels. Like, and there are more of them like that too, where they're just flat bottom and they just like skim through the tunnels and pick up people, drop them off. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, it's up to you guys what you want to do, but I'm gonna grab some coffee and.
I'll tag along.
Yeah. Okay.
Tagging along silently.
Silent. Oh, okay. You don't
tagging
have
along.
to. Oh, all right. Willow.
Which brings up a good point. Burk, Willow, and Quinlan.
I know.
There's a lot of Urks here. There are a lot of terrestrials here. There are not a lot of Pedalites. There are not a lot of elven folk or tieflings or fairies. There are some. You'll find one walking in a crowd, but you are outnumbered here by a wide margin. This ain't like outside of the new Urk City boundaries where you could run into any Tom, Dick, and Harry and he would be a tiefling, a dwarf, or a human. You are, see what I did there? Alliteration. And you are in Urkish territory now. And the political posters talk against the Allfather, but a lot of them just kind of like overarching are surrounded by 10 other posters which are like, praise the Allfather, may he forever reign. Like, in fact, a lot of them hold the national motto, which is, Zog, 12 years ago, when you were in New Urk City more often, it was different, but you notice that it changed. It changes to whoever is the Allfather at the time, and the motto is bow to Ugg and to no one else.
About a Ugg. Okay.
Bow to Ugg and the current Alfada is a Urk by the name of Ugg-Gahunga.
Ugg-Gahunga.
Yeah.
Ugg-Gahunga.
The son of the former Allfather, Bug-Gahunga.
What a fun thing to say. What is happening? What is this?
What is happening?
My fever dream.
Bug-Gahunga and
is still
Ugg-Gahunga.
alive.
Are we disappointed
no,
by this?
Is still alive.
What,
Oh.
Ugg-Gahunga is still alive?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's, yeah. He... a lot of people aren't big fans of Ugg. He's very much like it. There are a lot of people who are, and there are a lot of people who aren't. Imagine what kind of system that takes after. And
So there's 2 adventuring parties that are running for
adventuring parties. Yeah, there are a lot of people who want to go back to
donkey, and one of them has an elf.
There are a lot of people who want to go back to the system that was used 61 years ago, where there was a quarter yearly electoral system for electing just a regular mayor. But Bug signed the God Mayor thing into law, basically unopposed, because people loved Bug so much. And they were like, we could get behind this. And then he died and his son took over and he was like, I'm no longer behind this. And he's just...
It was a show, kids ruin everything.
Yeah.
Back in my day, it was trial by combat.
Trial by combat. There are 120-year-old Urks who live here who would say that to you, probably.
Yeah, no, I like Zog's like, I remember my dad telling me that this one mayor ran, and everyone's like, he's not gonna win, he's old as shit. And then that was the first time we all saw a gun.
The first person who brought a gun to a trial by combat, and then they were like, you know what, maybe we need to just elect people now. Maybe we just need to elect people. Yeah, the last trial by combat. That's incredible.
That's great.
All right.
The first time this whole civilization saw a gun.
They immediately ran and hid. Incredible. So, moon dollars.
Yes, Zog walks
Popular
into
chain.
$2. Yeah, and he's walks up to the counter. He's like, whatever these people order, I got as well. Hi. Yes.
And welcome to Moon Dollars. My name is Jess. How can I help you?
All right. I'll take just black coffee with 1 scoop of sugar, and then what kind of milks do you have?
You'll be satisfied to know that we have mute cow milk, we have clean cow milk, we have a nut milk, we have an oat milk, we have a grass milk,
Okay.
we have a dirt milk, we have a rock milk, we also have a diet rock milk, we have
Do you have anything non-fat?
we she just kind of like stands there and ponders your question, just like she has never had to put this much effort into answering this question.
Okay, what was the first one you said?
The mute cow milk.
Okay, yeah, we'll do the cow that's never mooed before.
I'm pretty sure that's mutated cow milk.
We have
Oh.
hey girls, we have another comedian among us, and then the other ones that are working there just kind of like, one of them perks up and is like, I love a guy who can make me laugh. And she just like goes back to doing what she was doing.
All right, just I did large coffee, 2 pumps of milk.
Oh no! Rhys.
Oh no!
What happened?
We lost one on the way.
We lost one. Hold
They
on.
got really
I have a
fucking
fix for
tired while
this.
talking about milk.
Hey, look at this.
Look at.
I have a
why aren't we just
5-player.
using it for this stream?
I have a 5-player map. Oh, there are two of the same.
There are two.
There are two of the
or not
same person.
fantasies.
There are two chaoses.
Two Burks.
Why are there two Burks?
Oh God.
Why?
Oh,
One
not me.
Burk, two Burk, everybody, 3 Burk, 4 Burk.
It's the
5
funny
Burk,
thing that I
6
changed my name to
Burks.
Burk, so it's just Burk.
Burk.
Burk squared.
Burke squared.
Burk squared.
Amazing.
Whoa.
Yeah, no. Rhys said they're having technical issues.
Oh no.
That's not good.
There we go.
Got it.
Got
so
it.
yeah, I'll just do 2 squirts of milk, 2 pumps of vanilla, and 2 pumps of caramel in a large coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And then whatever these
And
people
she,
want.
and she like. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, threw me off a little bit. Name for your cup.
Just write Zog on all of them.
Okay, and and she proceeds to write Z-U-G on every single cup.
Oh no.
No.
Zug.
Zug.
Can I get a steamed normal cow milk, please?
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Thank you.
Willow, have you had coffee before?
No. Actually, probably, but it's probably very fancy.
Part of me is like, you shouldn't have caffeine, and the other part of me is like, get espresso shots.
Have I ever had coffee?
Have you
Hot
ever
cocoa.
had coffee? Very occasionally. You know what it tastes like. You don't know whether you're a fan or not, though.
I'll just do a regular black coffee.
Of course. So we have a black coffee. We have a steamed milk. We have Zog's order, which was coffee, 2 caramels, and a milk, and something else.
2
And
squirts
2
of milk.
vanillas.
And 2 vanillas. Mm-hmm.
2 vanillas, 2 caramels, 2 squirts of milk.
Mm-hmm. Jess looks at you, Willow, and she's just like, and what can I get for you?
Give me your best thing.
Turns around, grabs a bag of, grabs like what looks like a bag of coffee beans, like of a blend that they hardly ever use. She like blows the label off. And it says, and it reads, Rainbow Unicorn Tears Blend.
Yes.
And she's like, we'll have it ready for you if you can pay for it.
Here's Ogwell.
Right.
I just fly away.
Yeah. And she tosses the bag over to the espresso machine so they can grind it up. And then Rhys crashed.
Aw.
Computer is
Can
giving me
I
hell
press
right
to
now.
digitate the worst flavor in this bitch's mouth I can?
Maybe.
Maybe. Allie doesn't like any kind of subtle microaggressions or discrimination. They're just like, they caught that and they went, that was bad vibes. I just want to make her day a little worse.
I came back to, I want to make their day worse.
A little bit.
So,
Who's?
The workers.
The workers.
Okay.
Don't worry
Willow went up to the counter and asked for the best thing they had, and Jess pulled out a bag of Rainbow Unicorn Tears blend coffee.
Okay.
And now, Allie wants to prestidigitate a bad taste in her mouth.
Or maybe just a bad odor. Maybe I want to make
Yeah.
her hair smell bad. That's better.
So you kind of, with a little swish, just of the hand, and then all of a sudden you see Jess like move on to the next people in line, and just kind of like, oh, excuse me, so sorry. You see Jess kind of move on to the next people in line, and go like, can I? Ooh. And the guy in line's like, "Are you all right?" She's like, "Yeah." That. It looks down. It smells like her hair is burning. It's. Yeah. No, there's nothing there. She's like, looks around for a second.
How much
So
did
the-
all of the coffees cost me?
You get up to the payment counter.
Yeah.
Rainbow Unicorn Tears Espresso, $20. 20 gold.
Okay.
Cup of milk, 1 silver. Black coffee, 5 silver. Your order, 1 gold. So 21 gold, 6 silver.
21 gold, 6 silver. I'll
And
just give
whatever
him 22
Rhys
gold.
orders, I'll say that Rhys orders something and it comes up to 21 gold, 10 silver.
I'm just gonna give him 22 gold.
And here's your change, and hands you 4
Nah,
silver.
it's fine. No, it's just nah.
She just goes, and just dumps it into a glass jar that says tips, but spelled with a Y.
And they all start dancing and singing some stupid song about the restaurant. No.
That was funny.
It's the musical episode.
All right. I didn't think I would have an entourage to go see my ex-wife, but let's go see some more.
When you get your orders, your coffees, the Rainbow Unicorn Tears blend is in like a cup. It's in one of these. It's in like a bowl cup, and it has a full-on like wooden like stirring stick and spoon sticking out of it. And you can see that literally across the top of this cup is a swirled pattern of rainbow colors as it like turns around in your hand. As you take a sip, just like, it immediately hits you with 2 things, which you are going to answer for yourself. Number 1, what is the best thing you have ever tasted, Willow? In your entire lifetime, from the time you were a kid to now.
My mother's cookies.
Oh.
It tastes like your mother baked you a fresh batch of cookies, and then somebody came along and sprinkled liquid gold on top of it. It was like, it's really interesting because liquid gold is molten metal, and it burns the shit out of your tongue, and it's really hot, and it like it leaves you with, that was the best thing I ever tasted, and now my mouth is literally on fire. Like it. And then as it subsides, you notice the taste of your mother's cookies isn't going away. It's just, you're just kind of semi-permanently have the taste of your mother's cookies stuck in your mouth. And everything is going to taste like that for the next 24 hours.
Oh. All right, start eating all the rations nobody wants.
It branded, it branded the inside of your mouth and your taste buds with your favorite flavor that you experience.
All right.
That's really cute.
That's interesting.
Does anyone want to try it?
I'm good. I got my black coffee.
I'll pass.
That's not fun. But
You
okay.
taste it? Zog, you taste your coffee?
Yes.
They didn't put the vanilla in it.
The vanilla was for my wife's ex-wife's coffee.
Oh, then what did you get? You just got black coffee?
Black coffee with a scoop, like 1 scoop of sugar.
Oh, I missed that.
Oh, it's all good.
Subtract 1 more gold from your thing.
Okay.
Your wife's so you taste your coffee. Sorry. Sip, and your lips immediately touch like sugar. And it's
Yeah.
like, you look in your cup, it's like 90% sugar and like 10% coffee. Like, it's still powdered sugar in this cup.
It's fine. It's fine.
Like, oh.
What does yours taste like again?
What is it?
Willow, what does yours taste like again? Is he just like sipping this terrible coffee?
Mm-hmm.
My mother's cookies.
Okay, I'll try a sip.
As you take a sip. Best thing you've ever tasted.
Fucking hot.
In your lifetime.
Oh shit. I think it would be his dad had like a preserved jar of like homemade teriyaki sauce that was saved for the day that they found like a red snapper or something that wasn't mutated. Like the first time they ever caught an unmutated fish.
Hmm.
And like so that like teriyaki red snapper that didn't have 2 heads and 2 tails and 5 eyes, like.
So the immediate sensation of a savory, meaty teriyaki blend filling your mouth when you're expecting like bitter or coffee or sweet or anything else, little
It's
off-putting.
weird, but it's phenomenal.
Yeah, and it just like, again, like brands the inside of your mouth. Everything you taste will taste like teriyaki red snapper for the next 24 hours.
My coffee tastes so much better now, thank you.
Absolutely.
And you just go back and you sip like a cup, this cup of sugar, and it's just little powder particles of teriyaki red snapper, just like pouring into your throat, coating it even more, which is almost more disgusting.
He thinks it's great.
But it's pretty good.
It's just my straight black coffee.
Burnt. They burnt it.
They fuck up my milk somehow.
No,
Yeah.
it's just cold. It's not steamed, but it's cold.
Fine.
Milk.
I'm just
How do you
joking.
how do you
It's fine.
fuck up milk?
It could be spoiled, you know.
Could be spoiled.
They
milk
burnt
now.
my shake.
He burnt my shake. That's kind of like what this blend, this rainbow unicorn tears blend is like. It's like, oh, he burnt my shake, and now I taste my shake forever. Like it's. All right. So as you walk down, you peruse
Wait,
the sights.
I have a game question.
What's that?
Newborn baby, fresh, never tasted a thing.
Mm-hmm.
First thing they taste is this rainbow unicorn coffee. What does it taste
Amniotic,
like?
it would taste like the pure
Just the
In
pure,
vitro
just the
nutrients.
just the pure in vitro nutrients that
I
like.
regret.
Well,
I
probably
regret
the
this
amniotic
question.
fluid, right?
I regret
Because
I
they're,
regret
they're,
this
like, drinking
question.
and breathing that the entire time they're in the
Yep.
womb. So
Nope, I didn't think about that. I was just thinking about a baby is now here. Like, I forgot that whole process for a second. Reese is back.
real
Reese
question:
is back.
what if somebody doesn't have taste buds? What do they taste?
For now.
Nothing. They don't have taste buds.
So it's a physical, it's not like a psychological magic thing then.
Oh, that's a good question. Do they magically be able to taste something now?
Yeah.
What happened
taste
to
the
my
blood of unicorn.
overlay? There was like an overlay over the background that made it look cool, and now it's gone, and I don't know where it went.
I don't know.
I remember that happened
either.
last time when you were messing with stuff. I don't remember when. I don't remember how you fixed it.
whoop. I had to go like that. But now the whole thing is covered in the overlay. I don't want that either. What in the world?
Rhys, we got coffee. What would you order?
Yes.
What
What
would
is
Quinlan
Quinlan's
get?
coffee?
Are you asking Quinlan's or
Yes,
mine?
Quinlan's coffee order.
Okay, Quinlan's coffee order.
Quinlan's coffee is a great name.
I got it. All right, got it covered. We're all back.
All right.
So,
We're figuring out Quinlan's coffee order.
oh, I gotta move everybody again. I think that fixed it. Yep. Nope. Gotta swap Rhys. There we go.
I can't tell if Rhys is frozen or thinking really hard about this
Rhys
coffee
is
order.
thinking.
Oh,
Thinking
Rhys is in
really
pure
hard.
contemplation.
Probably both. Because it keeps bugging out on me and crashing things and. But I think a simple. Dark roast cherry or closest equivalent with a chocolate and caramel drizzle
Wow.
That's.
Mm.
and a
I'll,
dash of cinnamon.
I'll remove another gold dippy.
Yeah, that's about a gold. Yeah. And when you take a sip, they put like way too much cinnamon in it. It's like they overloaded the cinnamon.
You ever want to
Oh,
drink the
so they
cinnamon
know how I
challenge?
like it.
Oh,
How the fuck do you burn coffee? That's my question.
Oh, you can easily burn coffee. Yeah, coffee gets
I
burned
know
easily.
that. I
Yeah.
did not know that.
Roast it too long, or you brewed it too high a temperature, or you
Yep.
let it sit in the burner for too long.
yeah.
This
Yeah,
is not the
coffee
black
gets burned
coffee that I was
easily.
asking for. I didn't mean
You
burn
can
coffee.
technically burn water.
Yeah,
Yes.
Oh, yeah, actually, that makes sense.
which is fucking weird, man. But so
So hot, some of the metal comes up in the water.
yeah, it's fun.
Sounds like it's what they tried to do with the cinnamon in my coffee.
So, as you all walk the streets, take in the sights and the numerous people in the streets. There are so many just wandering because they have nothing better to do or because they are just like, you know, some of them are going about business, some of them are just like, you see urchins just kind of, some of them are busking, some of them are just holding a cup out with their like hand outstretched in their hands and they're just leaned up against a wall. It's typical humongous city sights as you walk.
Yeah. A lot of like, no, thank you. I don't want to buy that pamphlet. Please don't put that bracelet on my wrist. Like,
Yeah. Please don't put the bracelet on my wrist.
Please
Yeah.
don't spray that on me. Please.
I won't get into anything specifically as you're walking down the street unless you want to. So you're just gonna navigate your way. You make a right turn, you go down, you make a left
That's
turn.
left.
You go yeah, you make a right turn, you go down, you make a left turn, you keep going straight for a bit, you make another right turn. And as you're walking, you notice some folks, you know, some of these streets have a rudimentary, instead of just like stop signs, they have a rudimentary magical version of stoplights that flash between green, yellow, and red and hang just like a modern street stoplight would. Looks like it could be some kind of programmed illusion, looks like it could be a major image of some kind, it's just a prolonged major image thing that just plays on a loop.
Yeah. Last time I was here, the Thieves Guild cast Dispel Magic on those, and traffic was backed up for 2 hours.
Yeah, it was bad. It was really bad. And as you keep going, you get into like a tenement block where there are a bunch of like taller like apartment buildings, literally just like one lined up after the other, and there are signs hanging outside of windows on all of these buildings. Like each window of what would be like a housing unit, there are signs hanging like outstretched from a lot of them marketing for businesses. So they just have the building, each floor is basically something. You can either purchase it as a house, you can purchase it as a business, like all within the confines of that building. Your wife has purchased 2 floors of one building, and you see her marquee sticking out.
Yes.
And I need to remember her name, and I forgot.
Shamori.
Yep, Shamori. Shamori and Fisker, attorneys at law.
Sorry, Samori, no H.
Samori and Fisker, attorneys at law.
Do I know Fisker?
Nope.
Okay.
Do I know Fisker?
Yep. No, no, I'm kidding. The name Fisker doesn't ring a bell to any of you.
Alright, Zog walks up to the door, and you see him just like holding 2 coffees and like breathing heavy for a second, just like. Okay.
Like buzz in, and
Willow, why'd you push the button? I wasn't ready.
Oops. As
Okay,
Place
nope,
my
it's fine.
hand on your shoulder, give it a gentle squeeze. You got this.
Yeah.
hold on, I have a thing for this.
Band-Aid.
A band-aid. No.
We're your support group for this. You got this.
I don't have my emotional support slime. I don't know what to do. This whole time, I imagined like we were waiting in line for coffee, and Sandile was like, "What was that?" And we haven't seen him since.
Yeah, where you trying to get to?
Samori, attorneys at law.
Okay. And you hear, and the door like swings open. It like, boink. And you
Alright.
walk inside. You see an Urkish lady, kind of sitting back, filing nails.
All right, can you just point me to Samori's law firm?
She reaches up behind her, points with the file in her hand to the floor guide, and you see it is literally a diagram of the building. Where you're standing right now is the lobby, and every building has a diagram like this. And you see each floor is demarcated with borders, colors, and names. The names are beside each floor, and the colors show a basic diagram of what's on each floor. And you see Samori and Fisker, attorneys at law, is on floors 5 and 6.
Ah, shit. Do you have an elevator?
Technician still hasn't come out for repairs on the elevator yet, unfortunately. And I don't know why it's taking them so long. Somebody could just magic the elevator together and fix it again, but I just don't see the point.
You know what? I'll take a look at it before I leave. Maybe I can magic to fix it.
We have a guy for that, sweetie. I appreciate
Okay,
your
yeah,
offer,
no,
though.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't insert myself in every problem.
That's
my bad.
all right. You just have to make sure that you're not getting into too many other people's business here, okay?
Okay, what's your deal?
Hey, I'm just the receptionist lady who doesn't really
right,
need a
no,
name in your
I'm
eyes.
doing it
I'm
again.
gonna I'm gonna drag you away.
It drags. You
It
hear
was
like the
nice meeting you. If you ever
stones
need a bull ride,
scraping
just
on.
let me know.
You hear the stones scraping on the floor as Zog's boots just like scraping it.
Allie just leans over and goes, "A glass file would work better for that," and just keeps walking.
A what? Sorry.
A glass file for her nails.
Oh, and she looks and she's
They're
like,
better than metal.
look into that. And she like goes back to it, but then just like sets it down as you're walking away. 1 flight of stairs, 2 flights of stairs. On
Jesus
the third flight of stairs, you bump into a Goliath, who is like trundling down the stairs in like full hunting gear. It's just like, oh, sorry, and just like backs up a little.
Yeah.
This floor looks like it has a line of people going into an office. You didn't see it on the main diagram because you're like laser focused. 4th flight of stairs. And then you end up on the 5th floor
Oh, thank God.
with where everything just kind of like, whoa. It just kind of like opens up. One of the floor between floors 5 and 6 has had like a cutout in it, so you can see up into the 6th floor from the 5th floor, where there are bookshelves and desks and writing implements. And on the 5th floor, you see a secretary, whom you are familiar with. You see a bookkeeper, like an accountant who you are familiar with. A half-orc that you are not familiar with, half-orc male, you presume. A half-orc male that you are not familiar with seems to be dressed in a nice suit.
Is he taller than me?
He is shorter than you by about 6 inches.
Hell yeah.
And on the 6th floor, you see an imp keeper, like a bookkeeper, who just like flies between the shelves and stuff, and like whom you are familiar with, and her. And
yes.
you see, and it seems like she's busy with like a couple of files in her hands. She's like reading them, like, and hasn't noticed you come in yet.
Hi.
And the receptionist does notice you
Yes.
come in. I need
Yes,
I need to start I need to grab a notebook and start taking notes on these.
I was gonna say, you just listed off so many people I know their names of.
Yeah, hold on. Is this my
Receptionist.
No. This is yes.
Veronica.
I need to take that out for later. I need to. There it is. Call from Zog's ex-wife some more. There it is. Okay. Okay. Big city shenanigans.
Big City Shenanigans. That's the next punk band I'm in.
All right. Moon Dollars is the official Starbucks ripoff. I mean, Moon Dollars is a coffee chain.
Oh my God, I didn't even notice.
How did you not notice that?
I had no
As soon as
idea.
he said moon dollars, I was like, okay, yep.
It went right over my head.
Good old moon dollars.
Okay.
Moon dollars. Oh, if I knew it was a Starbucks ripped off, I would have paid an extra, I don't know, 45 gold for a shitty egg sandwich.
Ooh!
I just prefer large Larrys
Large Larry?
instead of Big B's.
Big.
I do not have those in Connecticut.
Wait, instead of what? Sorry.
Big B's?
Oh, Big B's.
It's large Larry.
I have Starbucks, and then I have a Dunkin' every 10 feet.
Trying to think of one for Dutch Brothers. I can't think of something right now.
Let's see. Dunkin'
German
Donuts.
sisters?
Yeah, there you go.
Or
We have plenty of coffee stores here.
Yeah.
Receptionist.
I'm very lucky that I have plenty of local coffee shops as well. Like, there are so many just mom and pop coffee shops around me, so.
I think we only have one, but they went out of business at that location.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Locations.
My coffee. It's gone.
Our coffee, it's broken.
Or a place that
Oh,
is
no.
not technically allowed to eat or drink coffee. Yeah, we have plenty.
Yes. Oh, wait, Utah doesn't allow coffee? I
Yeah,
had no idea.
it's the caffeine.
Huh. I would have never thought about that.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
So that's why we have soda bars.
That is the soda bars is the most Utah sentence I've ever heard.
Yep, there's one just down the road for me, and I love it. Overpriced Dr. Pepper.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's supposed to get up.
Let's see here. Where am I looking? Where am I looking? There we go.
You're looking at me, buddy. Me and you. We're in this. We got this. I believe in you.
All right. One more. I need one more name. Y'all just keep vamping. I need one more name.
This is such a fancy office.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not that good of a carpenter, but I did build some of these bookshelves and whatnot. Like,
That's fun.
So the
Yeah.
divorce must have been recent then.
it was recent. I mean, I don't know, 5-6 years ago. Like,
Oh, not quite that
it's
recent.
just it's sturdy bookshelves. You know, they'll move different locations, and you know what? I kind of just want to go talk to that receptionist again. You know, she seemed like she had something going on. Maybe I can help her with that.
I think
You know
Yeah.
Dolores very well.
Dolores is this receptionist or the one that was
The
down?
receptionist in the lobby.
Yeah,
Dolores has
yeah.
been the lobby receptionist for a while now.
Yeah, I forgot to ask how, like, because I know her daughter was going to college, and I forgot to ask about that. Maybe we should just leave and go hang out with Dolores. Everyone's shaking their heads at me.
You got her coffee.
I did buy her coffee. She might be mad at me that I bought her coffee.
and you had
Okay.
to do all those. You had to do all
so-
the stairs again.
As you're talking, the receptionist, this receptionist looks up at you.
Yes.
Poldren, a little goblin receptionist, short, but like physique, like female physique, and like kind of looks up, and she's like, "Oh, Zog, it's so good to see you again. Hey, Miss Samori, you have a visitor." And
Yep.
you see the bookkeeper, Kimos, or Kim, the imp, and Samori turn from the bookkeeping and look down at you. And you see Samori for the first time in a while. She is so hot.
She's so pretty.
Gorgeous. She did her makeup really well this morning.
Oh, she always just perfection.
And she looks down at you and she says, "Well, didn't know that you'd be coming by so quick. I would have prepared better." And she sets the file down. She sets the file down on her desk, and she like steps over, and you see in the corner, you see like just a pole, and you see her step on a platform, and the platform like it goes flush with the floor above you, and then it goes flush with the floor that you're standing on as well. And she comes down. The other Urk and the accountant, the Urk that you recognize, Damzu, is still just kind of crunching numbers over in the corner. Acknowledges your presence, you acknowledge his, but the other Urk...
The dude nod.
Yeah, the dude nod, yeah. The suited Urk kind of looks up from his work too, and he looks over to Samori and goes, "Friend of yours, Samori?" And Samori goes, "Well, you could say that. I'm so sorry, Zog. I haven't introduced you. Zog, this is Fisker Engiz, my new partner, my new partner-in-law."
All right. Hello, Fisker. If I knew, I would have grabbed you a coffee too. As he extends the coffee.
Fisker like kind of walks over with his hand extended. Again, like I said, 6 inches shorter than you, dressed in a nice suit, kind of a little bit of like a fatter face.
Okay.
And just not thin defined cheekbone, but like a nice plump just like face, and you know the type. And kind of walks on over, offers a handout to you, and shakes hands. "Fisker Engiz, criminal defense. I just entered in to help, well, Samori here with that aspect of the law, so she can get some more cases."
I love that. Zog Ferriman. I drive a boat.
"That's great, sir." And he just like smiles like, "Oh, I have such a better job than you," like type smile. And he just looks to Samori and is like, so, you want me to? And she's like, oh, yes, they're more catered for your experience anyhow. And I actually need to change this over.
Is there
to
a
the one that
law
I-
firm in tabletop audio?
Yeah. There is investigator's office.
Let's just do the Suits soundtrack.
There it is.
I never finished the show.
Actually-
Apparently it's good. Never finished it.
Never watched it.
No, not this. I'll just play this. Woo!
That's scary.
That was called Antiquarian Study. That was weird.
I'm about to get
Okay.
murdered.
There we go.
Oh, and then Samori, these are my friends. This is Burk, Allie,
Pleasure.
Willow, and
Pleasure.
Quinlan. And then
Sure.
you've met Sundial before. I don't know where the fuck he went. And come back next time Dono's here for where the fuck Sundial's been doing in New York City.
Yeah, Sundial, for the time being, I'm gonna say that he shrunk back into his vase.
Okay.
I'll just say that you're carrying him around,
Okay. And then
offering like banter that you can hear in your ear, but no one else can.
And then Sundial is in the vase now. He's not a pile of trash anymore. He's an ooze.
Well, you'll have to tell me more about that.
All right. Well, first things first. You called me here for something. Is this something we can talk about here? Do we got to go somewhere with less ears? What's going on?
Well, I was
You look great.
Just
by the way.
reviewing
Oh my
some-
god.
Thank you so much. And you do as well.
Oh, thanks.
You've been
Yeah,
keeping
oh,
yourself busy, hopefully?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. The
With
yeah.
5 more people in tow, it seems like you would be awfully busy.
You know, they keep me on my toes.
Among other things.
So, I was just finishing up some cases, but Fiska can handle those. Yeah, do you want to go down and, like, we'll find a place to talk about this? I mean, you already brought the coffee, and she grabs it, and she, You got it how I like it, Zog.
I'll never forget that shit. Yeah.
Aww.
Well, glad to see you're keeping up with things. Oh, goodness gracious. Let's get some air, shall we?
Okay.
And
yeah.
as she kind of like steps to the group and like leads the way back down the stairs
Oh god.
to just head like outside.
Yeah. Yeah, so like dude,
Quick
you got a new
over
part-
table interlude.
Yes.
Did we determine how y'all like split? Like what terms y'all left on? Like good terms, like, you know, you're obviously on speaking terms, you know.
So we left on kind of bad terms. I sent you a pretty long message. Do you want it over table or do you want me to resend you the message?
Let me see. Let me.
Because I'm comfortable reading it. It's in my notes.
Is it in is it in the DM with you?
I sent it on Zoom at one point in time. I don't know if you wrote it down.
Oh,
in
I
your-
definitely would not have written it
Okay.
down.
All right, I'll just
Yeah.
read it over.
Yeah,
table.
go for it. Go for it.
The full note is because Sundial was asking me about it. So the full note says, what Sundial wouldn't know is Zog was dumped by her. She wanted to settle down at home, and Zog wasn't ready to give up the boat life yet.
Mhm.
He felt it was a choice between Umberlee and Samori.
Yes.
Who's to say if Umberlee had a hand in guiding Zog towards staying on the boat? But Zog's last words to Samori before the breakup were, "I'm really sorry that I fell in love with the sea first."
Mm-hmm.
Just damn.
Oof.
So
Oh.
she
So she dumped me because I wasn't ready to settle down and whatnot. So
and
there's
she is
still
being
like,
a little awkward as a result.
yeah, there's
only a
in
little.
my brain there would still very much be emotions there and whatnot
Yeah,
because it's
of
not
course.
like we didn't fall in love with each
Yeah.
other, but she wanted a different point in life that Zog did. So
Yeah. Okay. I needed that refresher.
Yeah. All good.
For the attitude going forward here. Yeah. So, resume going back down the stairs here.
So got a new partner. How's that going?
Yep. As you all kind of like
I
step out.
got some partners too now. They help me with the boat. I got Burk is the muscle when I can't be the muscle, and Allie vibe checks everybody I meet now, which is great. I love that. Quinlan, I guess, is also muscle. But like a smart muscle. And then Willow.
Hey.
Willow's just great.
As
Zog
she's
slowly
walking
realizes,
down-
I'm like, Willow doesn't really have a job on the boat.
Yeah, not yet. And
We just
you
like having Willow talks to the fish.
Yes,
and you're talking.
I get information.
She's like, "Are you paying all of them for their services, or?"
No, I kind of got lost in the thread at some point in time while they haven't left my boat yet, but it's fine. I think that's just friendship. Not really something I'm used to besides Sundial. And Sundial perks his head up and he's like, dabs. And goes
Yeah.
back in.
And she just kind of like, again, you're acknowledging the boat again.
I'm just, no, you're right.
And she's like, "It's good. That's good stuff, Zog."
Yeah, no, so what's new with you though? You got a new partner,
Yeah.
Like-
Well, we, as you're aware, I did a lot of civil cases.
Yeah.
I have a lot of common law under my belt, but when it came time to actually grow and expand, I needed to enter into a new law market, and criminal defense is the largest one there is. I didn't want to enter into it by myself. Fisker has said that was his specialization with his formal education, and she like emphasizes formal education. And he helps me out. He got he knows more about that side of things than I do. I'm willing to admit that. But
that's I'm glad that you're able to grow into a point where you can admit that you don't know things.
she remains silent the rest of the way down the stairs and walks out the door.
I so thought that would be playful banter. That was just mean. I fucked up.
True.
It,
And she says they opened up this new botanical garden down the street a ways. They imported some plants from Nihon and from Fergon. They're supposed to look very beautiful. I haven't been yet, and it apparently would be secluded enough. Do you want to try that on for size? Or do you want to go back to your boat where it would be private?
I'd start walking and I'll follow.
Excellent. And she turns and leads you to a botanical gardens. And if before you didn't see a lot of plants, and when you did, they were a sight to behold, you turn the corner and see the brightest green spot in the city that isn't lit with lyramite. And it is like very fresh. Like a lot of demolition happened, and a basic wall was put up, and it's it takes up like the space of what would have been like 3 buildings. As a result, there is some rubble still being cleaned up, and you can see people kind of removing pieces. But it has tall trees filled with leaves, bushes and fruit plants and wild flowers and grasses that are very foreign to a lot of people here. People see dead trees and like some fauna around the puddles every once in a while, but this is outstanding. And you both look in awe. She goes, wow. Like, this is what we're missing? And
Yeah, I'm hoping to see some more of this. I think the next stop is Pedal.
you didn't tell me you were going to Pedal. When are you planning on going to Pedal?
I just next stop on the unspeakable vessel.
Tog, you don't.
I'll stop.
Don't have.
I'll stop.
No,
I'm
no,
sorry.
no.
No, I'm being
Honey.
cruel. I'm being mean. Don't. Oh, yeah.
Your dreams are just as important as mine are.
Yes.
We talked about this when
Yeah.
we split apart.
No. All right. Yeah.
And
No,
they
I'm good.
are.
I'm good. Yes. And I'm glad they interlean right now. Can I do a quick insight check of does private mean not having the group of everyone else following us as well?
Allie is trying
No
to
insight
listen.
check. No insight check needed. She does not care that they are here right now.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
She, I mean, a little bit with the conversation of like, you know, why you split, but because she doesn't know how much they know, she's like, your dreams are just as important as my dreams are. But whenever you decide you're done with that life, you can always come back. I will be right here.
Oof. That's.
Promise.
I don't have. Okay. Wow. That's very sweet of you. Why did you you needed something?
Yes. Yes. This would be pertinent for you as well. So I'm glad that you are here. I'm glad that you've made such fast friends with Zog. I've run into a little bit of an issue. My firm is growing ever steadily, and it has been doing wonders recently, but somebody stole our ledger, our case ledger, everything that to deal with the finances of people who come to me with their cases and cases we've won or lost for the last 5 years was in that damn ledger, and it was stolen. I haven't even the first clue of where it could have gone, and I'm not going to approach the city police about this because they're not going to help me.
Yeah.
They're just going to say that lost money is lost. That I should have had my expenses better taken care of. So, without proof of business, the firm can't get approved for more upgrades, I'll say, for more expansive growth. And the floor above me has already agreed to terms, but the building hasn't because, well, we don't have it. My accountant's working on a copy of the most recent cases, but we only stop at a certain point. I need that ledger back. Turns to you, Zog. I need that back. And I know that you can help me get it back.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I can. This is. I mean, I could try my best. I've never been much of a sleuther. Never been much of following a trail of clues, but.
Well, you are much more traveled than I am. And you know more about, well, the streets than I do.
Zog puts on his pirate hat. He's like, yeah, you could say that.
And, I just don't want this to be, like, I don't want this to be interrupting any adventure that you're going to be going on, especially if you're going to pedal. Like, that sounds like it would be
we have
dangerous.
Yet to be, you know, it will be interesting. We've yet to be sailing in a straight line, to say. We have not really found an actual destination yet, so you're not holding us up to. I mean, if Sutton turns and looks at the group, he's like, do you guys mind helping out?
I could stay in the city a bit longer.
Yeah.
It's helping.
Yeah, there we go. Oh.
From what you said, and this is Quinlan addressing her directly.
Addressing Samori? Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you only keep one ledger?
Because we were very small. My firm has only recently been expanding, and everything was all nice and neatly put in one book. I showed you that book multiple times.
Yeah,
And
it
was... Text copiers are expensive.
Yes.
Living case to case isn't easy.
How long ago was it taken?
It was in my it was in my office a week ago, and it was in my office 7 days ago, and 6 days ago it wasn't. I looked literally in every place that I would keep it. It might have been left out. Damzu
There's no signs of forced entry.
Damzu was finalizing a recent case in it, and then went to sleep for the night, woke up, it wasn't there.
Hey, Dippy.
Yes.
Thank you so much for saying that I have seen it before.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna cast Locate Object.
All right.
Describe or name an object that is familiar to you. You sense the direction upwards of 1,000 feet of you.
1,000 feet.
If the object, yes, if the object is in motion, you know the direction its movement. I've had to see the object at least once within 30 feet.
Mm-hmm. Of which you have.
Yeah. Yes.
No traces.
God.
Within 1,000 feet.
I thought I
How
had
long
a
does
good
locate object
gotcha.
last?
It's concentration for 10 minutes.
Concentration for 10 minutes. Okay, so as you cast it, you send out a wide spread. Just...
Upcast locate object? Is that a thing? No, it's not an upcastable spell. All right.
You send out a wide spread, and a thin veneer passes over everyone in the group, emanating from you.
Everyone gets like a little misty with like sea, like breeze, as Zog's just kind of like sending feelers out.
And you see, just again, a very thin veneer, kind of like passes over the landscape and the buildings. You see it go like a shockwave over the buildings in the distance. And you don't pick up any immediate blip. And she goes, well, you've learned a little bit since we last saw each other.
Oh, I've learned a lot, surprisingly. Yeah.
Is that a trident on? Where did you get that? You
He
have
has a trident and a gun.
Yeah, a trident. Zog, where did you get a gun? What have you been doing?
Sail in the seas.
And
I
finding
will
these
shoot you.
things? Have you been buying them? What have you?
And Zog grabs her in a very tight hug because he learned last time not to say this shit too loud. As he goes, "I'll shoot you straight. I am a little more indebted to Umberly. I'm a champion of hers."
As Zog's back is turned to the group, but Samori's face is visible to it, you see the look on Samori's face go from, like, confusion to a wild mixture between impressed and frightened, all in one facial expression. As, like, eyes wide open of, holy shit, is that true? And fright of, like, he didn't say Umberly, did he? And, like, you, like, pull her back out of the embrace, and she looks at you, and she's like, champion.
Yes. So the Triton is hers. I found the the Sunderer.
Puts her hands on your shoulders now. What did you do? What did you do? What did she take from you? What is she
She hasn't taken anything from me.
No god just offers up a random sailor to be their chosen without them taking something. What did she do?
I am just helping get her name back into the mouths of many.
That's what she took.
I don't feel like she took anything.
The Bitch Queen wants you to spread her good word across the land, where, especially here, you can't go around and spread her word when they will crucify you if you disown the name of the Alfada. And like points up to the tallest building in the city, the tallest building that you have seen since you got here, a towering circular and like oblong spire. Imagine the Burj Khalifa, like a bunch of different like towers of like cylindrical or like half cylindrical, just like expanding up from the surface of the earth, just skyrocketing upwards. Imagine a building like that, and you see this like this swirling cloud cover surrounding the top of this tower, and you feel like that's on purpose. And that's always on purpose.
Okay.
And she points up and she like, Bitch Queen. That's literally her nickname. They will crucify you if you say anything against the Allfather, especially someone like Umberly. Who could flood this city and kill thousands? Just with the flick of her wrist?
So many gods can do that. So many gods
and
can
they
just decide
choose
to kill
not
people.
to because they are all powerful and wise. But Umberly is dangerous.
I am having fun with a little bit of dangerous. And you can't be that surprised. Burk, yes, you have a question.
Yeah.
You're good. Can I just look around to see if anybody's listening to this conversation around
I'm
us?
sure everybody is. There is nobody else in the botanical gardens right now except your group.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
There is nobody else in the botanical gardens right now except your group. And it's in a wide enough area that, like, you could see if somebody was listening.
These
wanted to check
trees
that.
are very unfamiliar to Zog, right?
Yeah, very.
Zog's now a little worried the trees are listening.
While we're having a segue, Allie just wants to swipe a flower and stick it in their pocket while they're here. No matter which one.
Oh.
You kind of lean down and you see this beautiful, this golden yellow flower with it looks like it's an orchid, a yellow orchid. But you don't know that name, obviously. It just looks like a beautiful golden flower to you. And you just like ding, pluck it, and you're half expecting it to immediately die in your hand, but it remains. And it just looks pretty.
Wonderful. I just slip it between the pages of one of my notebooks and call it a day.
Oh.
You now have a yellow orchid. How long it will remain alive, no one knows.
But yeah, Zog just like, I'm figuring it out as I go. It was offered to me. I said, screw it, let's do this. But we will. My life decisions are have never been the best. I mean, look at you. You're fucking gorgeous, and I'm single for some reason. So
She like
let's
snickers, just
let's find this this ledger, and maybe we can revisit the fuck ups that I have done.
I like the sound of that, Zog.
So, as he, I'm trying to think if there is anything Zog can do right now to be like.
That was like I just immediately thought of the meme where someone's in the middle of saying something and then all of a sudden a QuickTime event comes up and it's just like and it passes just barely under the radar. My decisions haven't always been the best. I mean, look at you, beep, 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 beep. And how gorgeous you are, and how I had been single for some reason.
That
Still
was,
single.
that was
Just
close.
Almost
like-
everything Zog has said so far is borderline mean, and then he either catches it or he drops the ball.
Yeah,
Zog is, it seems, is
you're treating this very
balancing-
fast and loose, Zog. It's
He's,
like,
he's balancing
It's almost-
um,
Look, I will be the
regret and animosity with lust.
I will be the first to admit, and like any viewers can go through ANIPOD history of like, I have to flirt with a lot of people on this. I don't have to. I choose characters like this.
Yeah.
I flirt with a lot of people on this channel. Dippy is the easiest. Something like me and Dippy can just fucking go. Like,
yeah, it's just one of those things for some reason. I don't know why. I
me and Dippy
just
can hit a wavelength in like very complex relationship status. Like, no, we got this. We're good. Like, so. I did, as much as you guys are complimenting me, I think it's mostly Dippy. I'm not landing these hoops without the backboard. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
so.
I guess
Well.
the first thing to do with let's head back to your office and look for clues. We should split up, gang. No, we shouldn't. It's a terrible idea.
Quinlan steps forward. Another question, if I might. Who precisely would have access to your personal office?
Ooh, that's a great
Well,
question.
everything that you saw when you walked in is kind of kept under the lock and key of everybody who works in there. Kim, Pauldron, Dom, and now Fisker. And myself, obviously. Everyone has a copy of a key, but there are so many people adept with a lockpick in this city, I wouldn't put it past anyone to have access to that office as long as they got into the building.
Well, I do hate to be the one to tell you. But in cases such as this, usually it happens to be someone close. You have a saboteur or a rat.
Pauldron and Dom, I've worked with them for years, and Kim was a nice package deal with an employee who does not work with me anymore. Fisker, our working relationship has only been starting up recently. I don't see Kim. I would probably point his direction first. And Zog, when she mentions this, how long ago did you split up from Samori?
We were trying to figure this out. So,
Because you met Zog.
Sun-
It was sometime between you met Zog. You were our Zog. You met Sundial.
I met myself.
Yeah, I met myself.
How many years ago did I meet Sundial? Because we were already split by the time Sundial was around.
But you said to her that she knew Sundial.
Yeah, so we've talked about that in sessions before, where like this isn't the first time I've stopped by just to drop off coffee.
Where
and
you
Sundial
stopped
has
by.
been
Okay,
there,
so
yeah.
so you split up a year and a half ago, and you met Sundial about a year ago,
Sounds good.
and
Yes.
You visited with her. The last time you visited her.
We'll say like 6 months ago. Sound good?
Okay, yeah, 6 months ago.
Okay.
The last time you visited her, she had like another employee, because Kim, you recognized everybody except Fisker. And when she mentions he, and isn't talking about Fisker, you remember one more employee that she had who came
Yes.
with Kim, who was a tiefling. A Hellborn. And, you remember them simply going by the name of... where's the tiefling name list? There it is. You remember them simply going by the virtue name. The virtue name of... those are all terrible. Hold on. You remember them simply going by the virtue name of Wit. W-I-T. With... so Wit and Kim came together to work with Samori, but Wit has apparently left the picture since the last time you talked to them.
All right, so it seems like let's head back to the office and we'll split up there and start just bugging your employees a bit. I'll go talk to Kim, because see if he knows where Wit's at. But anyone else that seems untrustworthy to y'all, because y'all are picking up vibes I didn't. Everyone there I thought was a ray of sunshine, and I'm very happy to see some old friends.
I have a question.
Hmm.
Do your staff know Ledger is missing?
They were made aware of it the same time that I was. I told them.
Okay, fair enough. I just wanted to make sure that we weren't going to spill the beans while we were digging.
Come to think of it, it probably would have been advantageous if I hadn't told anybody, because you would have been able to pick them out from that. But I did, so.
It's okay. No, it's okay. You're not. No, you didn't do anything wrong. You're good.
Quick thing before we're on our way back.
Mhm.
How long ago did you and Fisker start working together?
I told, as I mentioned before, I just recently expanded, so when I got the proper sign-offs for the second floor that I just acquired and all of that construction happened, I brought Fisker in after that construction was done, and that was finished about a month and a half ago. Maybe like 40 days.
And what
Okay.
was he doing before?
He told me that this was his first law position. He didn't really mention what he did before, but he told me that he had a clean record. I double-checked it, and he did.
And what would be his experience in your division of law if this is his first law?
His formal education. He studied criminal defense law when he went to the college in the center borough.
Hayward.
What was it? What did you say?
Hayward? Instead of Harvard.
We'll go with it. Sure. Yeah, Hayward. Can never remember that. I went on down to Dale. I didn't go to Hayward.
Dale.
Hayward and Dale instead of Harvard and Yale.
Hayward and Dale.
Hayward and Dale.
Love that. That's amazing.
There are now not one but two colleges in New Urk City that are ripoffs of other colleges.
Both from Connecticut.
Both from Connecticut. Oh yeah, I forgot Yale is in Connecticut. So there you go.
Yeah, I was just on Yale campus like last month.
There you go. So, he took his formal education at Hayward, and he doesn't talk to me about much outside of work. And you kind of look into her eyes as she's saying this, and you see that she's like, she's not hiding something, but she's really racking her brain trying to help you at this point.
Well, I appreciate your efforts, and I'm sure we'll get it out of him. Any pertinent information that we may need.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't know why I said that like a question. Thank you. And she looks over to Willow, who she hasn't really acknowledged in this yet, and to Burk, as you're kind of like, you're floating around like Burk's shoulder or so. It's like, And she just looks at the both of you and she's just like, do you need to take them back to Petal, or are they...
We're just going with the flow. We're just figuring it out as we go.
Right. Well, expertise outside of the city is always appreciated. In fact, you look very remarkably like Wit did. At pointing to you, Burk.
Mm-hmm.
Same red and everything, and his horns weren't nearly as curled as yours are, but striking similarities. Do you work out? I'm sorry.
There's just a great sword on my back. It's
Yeah,
just like,
and just like the vest and like the harnesses and just like the...
I'm wearing a cloak. Okay, I'm wearing a little bit more decent clothes than when they first met
And
me.
this is not flirtatious. This is... She hasn't met many tieflings. The one she did meet was similar to you, but like you are clearly a more fit version of them. It's curiosity rather than flirting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, well, I think we should get back. Thank you again. I will make sure that you are helped and rewarded throughout at least this
I'm
burrow.
not taking anything from you. Jesus, you know
You-
that. I'm fine.
You are a
Can I
you are a
whap
working
Zog upside the back of the head?
I'll gladly take payment.
Yeah.
Right. You know what? I'll leave that up to them. I don't
As you-
want to take anything from you, but I'm not
Yeah.
going to speak on their behalf.
I'm not gonna take anything from you. Actually, you know what? We might. She looks at you. She looks at you and goes, "You are a working partner now. I'm hiring you."
We're partners again?
Working
Not like
partner,
that.
Zog.
Quinlan is getting so done with Zog.
Yeah. And
I love it.
It's very- he keeps you in check now.
Yes.
as she looks in, she's like, "I'm glad you came, by the way."
I am too. I know we have work to do, but let's go check out the rest of these gardens really quick.
Of course. And as they both kind of like walk through the rest of the garden.
I was gonna say Zog would even take off the sundial backpack and look at Quinlan and be like, "You mind carrying little guy around?"
I'm gonna hand little guy to Burk.
Yeah, I'll take her. It's fine.
As Sundial is like,
and as I
"Wait,
do,
what?"
I just say, I'm not a step parent.
Oh!
It takes a village to raise this child, Quinlan.
It takes a village.
This child is older than all of us combined.
Yeah.
I mean, technically.
Some races just age different than others.
True.
Some might say he was reborn, just like a
Is it a
month
bad
or
thing
two
at
ago.
this point that
I'm
I'm
only
carrying him?
3.5 years old.
I'm only 3,000 years old.
Yeah.
Calm down, Elmo.
I saw that video too, Quinlan. That is
The math alone.
for
shocking.
context.
And then
For
Kermit's
context,
age?
yeah, for context, Elmo turned 3.5 years old, this year, and
Yeah.
when he debuted in the show 37 years ago, he was 3 years old. So a Muppet year is 74 years,
76
or 76 or 74 years,
76.
and then
It's
it deliberated that in a Kermit movie he was 12 Muppet years old, which means that he was alive for the Norman conquest of England. Kermit the Frog would be a newborn in this timeline that we're running. because the current calendar year of this world is 1373. Kermit the Frog would have been born not too long ago and would be aging into his Muppet self over the next hundreds of years.
Oh my gosh.
It's kind of ridiculous.
That's beautiful. There's something poetic in that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just like how Kermit the Frog is the cause of 9/11.
Doesn't Elmo have like a father who's like 40, who's like or like 50 in Muppet years? Which means that he would be older than like the BC AD switch he would be.
Mm-hmm.
He would have been alive in ancient Mesopotamian times.
Well,
We
Elmo's
wondered what happened to the ancient gods. I think we know now.
Fantasy, you look shocked when I make the comment to 9/11. So just really quick.
Oh, God.
There's the Muppets Christmas story, I think it is, when they're like, here is your life if you were never born, Kermit. They use stock footage of New York City with the tower still standing. For some reason.
Oh
yeah,
my
and
god.
it was already out, and yeah, it released with that footage just after
Oh my god.
9/11 happened. Because
What was it? That wasn't a Muppets
shipping.
Christmas Carol. That was a Muppets Wonderful Life or whatever it was.
Is
The
that it?
adaptation
Yeah.
of The Wonderful Life, yeah.
well,
So-
I guess it was a wonderful life.
What? You know how easy your TSA was?
Oh my god.
No, I was 4.
Fair.
I was 2.5.
I was not alive.
Yeah.
Shut up.
I wasn't even a thought.
Keep them in track. keep
I
these.
was 10.
Oh my gosh.
I was in kindergarten. I don't know what age that is.
It's like
I
5.
don't remember.
5.
Oh, I was 5. Whatever age you were.
Wait,
What
you're
did
in
it-
fantasy? How old are you?
I'm
If you don't
27.
mind. Oh, same. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What a
so
difference
yeah, we
in
were
age
both in
range we have, where one of us was 10 and one of us wasn't even a thought, wasn't even born. Diversity of age.
So these gardens are pretty.
Yes. As you're like kind of wandering through the gardens, you notice like these trees and all these like different kinds of trees too. Like, you know, that's a big one with green leaves, and that's a bigger one with greener leaves, and that's a. You're not really naturally in taste with foreign fauna, and it shows.
Actually, this seems like a good opportunity, and I don't know how you want to rule this. Is there something I could do to, like, I don't know a better way to word it, like, super pay attention? Like, recognize, like, so next time I see these trees, I know I'll recognize them. You know what I mean?
Open your
Like,
second eye.
Yes.
Hey, make a perception. I guess make an investigation check would be my
okay,
best
just,
guess.
like, deliberately trying to put them in memory.
Sure.
That's a
Yeah,
9.
You know, there's this wonderful thing called a notebook and a pencil that you can like write this down on.
I don't have that on me. I have a gun.
I don't need a notebook. I have a
pictures
gun.
are nails.
Wow. So
All right. So I'm just enjoying the garden.
yeah, it's enjoyable. Yeah. As Samori pipes up just one time as you're walking around the garden, and she says, you know, I'm not talking to Fisker or anything like that, just in case you were wondering.
You know, I wasn't, but it's okay. Don't wait for me. I
Just figured you should know,
no, okay. I'm
so
not
that you don't
talking
get jealous.
I'm not talking to anyone on the boat. I think Quinlan and I hold hands sometimes.
And that's
But
wonderful.
I don't know if that's I don't know what he's doing. Actually, if you could get a vibe check from him, and then, like, we'll regroup after this little mission.
So I get a vibe check.
He's certainly in. It's certainly
Samori was the
inquisitive.
original vibe check.
Yeah. Good to know.
Samori and Zog definitely were the couple that were like, hey, we like your vibe, and then never succeeded. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh no.
Oh no. But yet, like, Quinlan is certainly an inquisitive one.
yeah, no, he's the. I was gonna say he's the brains of the group, but actually, I've really surrounded myself with really smart people, and I'm not used to it. I mean, not that you're not smart. I used to be very much with you that was smart, but you didn't surround. Let's just look at these trees.
And she like literally shuts your lips with a finger to the mouth. You're doing it again. Enjoy
I
the
know, I'm
garden.
sorry. Look, that tree is biggest and greenest. That's even what the sign says. The biggest, greenester.
There actually aren't any signs yet because the people, there are no like placards for trees, like for species or anything like that, because nobody in Quy'zz knows the names of the species. They're supposed to be getting a scientist from, they're supposed to be getting a naturalist from Fergon to name the species of trees.
I love the idea that there's a bunch of blank placards unfilled out that
Yeah.
Zog keeps checking just in case one of them has a name.
Yeah. You see that one of the placards on one of the bushes has been like graffitied on, and it says Dave, and it's just like the
Dave.
bush's name is Dave, like,
Hi, I'm Dave.
and it's just like very stupid. You get to the end of the gardens and you cycle back around. You cycle back around to the entrance of the gardens, and all the rest of your party is like kind of standing there enjoying themselves. As the rest of you are standing there before he gets back, you all kind of notice a patrol that walks down one of the streets that is like parallel to the entrance of the garden, and it appears to be a band of the city police that she mentioned. Everywhere else in this world, the Royal Guard kind of has an overhauled say in what, like, they are a highly trained, highly professional set of enforcers and soldiers who watch over towns, watch over people, you know, under the name of either the Emperor or the King or the whatever the overarching land of the area is. In this case, the branch of the Royal Guard for Quy'zz would be protecting the would be under the name of the autocrat of Snot Drizzle, which is Harold the Battle Hardened. And Petal doesn't have a Royal Guard. Petal has its own like force. New Urk City, under the Allfather. The Allfather hires his city police, and the city police are intimidating, to say the least. They're not welcoming like the Royal Guard are. They're like intimidating. They dress in what looks like black uniforms, with a kind of like the head of the Allfather imprinted on their what would be, so you know how you have like chest pocket, but if you have like a logo on the what's basically like the belly of a shirt, their logo is like right here, and then on the other side of their shirt they have their pockets for their implements and things. They also wear these what appears to be like a flat top cap with a long draped cape coming down from the cap. I know that has a name. I don't know what it is right now. It's like a fez with a cape, but shorter and no symbol on the fez. And they also, all Urkish, but these are the Urks who could be seen as like a base orc. bigger, stronger, musclier, longer teeth. And their tusks are trimmed. They're cut off at the point, so they have these flat-topped tusks. And they look mean, for lack of a better way to put it. Intimidating, mean, like, yep, if you're doing something we don't agree with, we're gonna put a stop to it type deal. And
Allie is eyeing these guards.
Yeah, you get chills, Allie. Just
I've seen them up close and personal before.
You have.
My sister's part of their troop.
Yeah.
But I'm eyeing them to see if I recognize them or if they're something changed in their uniform. Like,
there's been a subtle change.
Gone a minute.
There's been a subtle change. They've gotten like darker. The uniforms have gotten darker.
Maybe more night, maybe.
And you know that the guard that was at the outpost that you got stopped at is a branch of the city police. And that like the overarching department of the police holds within it like other guards and specialized soldiers within it to keep tabs on like the borders and keep tabs on the streets and keep tabs on specific buildings. Your sister would have entered into the guard at the secondary level, which is above just a city police guard patrolling the streets. She would be like an overseer. She would be a supervisor or a captain of a squadron.
I think we established like when we showed up to the city that she was currently in some kind of boot camp to go up again.
Yes, and she is on her way up. She is at training camp to go from that secondary level to the primary level, which is like right up the top with the big ones. So, they kind of pass by, and there are 2 foot soldiers. There is a cart with a guard on the bench, on the cart bench, driving 2 horses, which they simply carry a drape with the Alfada symbol on each side of the drape, and they are hauling a barred and wooded cart, carrying what looks like about 10 people in the back, all arrested for various crimes, all being carted away to a local prison. So
they've been busy.
As they pass by, one of the foot, and then there are 2 foot soldiers behind the cart as well. And one of the back foot soldiers looks over to your group as you are all kind of looking at this display, and like growls just a little bit at seeing not 1, not 2, but 3 Pedalites and maybe a person that they have interacted with before, all standing in one group on the side of the road. And you just like, and like continues to walk, continues to patrol. As Zog and Samori come back, they, looking pleasant with themselves, Samori says, well, if you want to get started right away, we can go back to my office, or if you wanted to take a break, enjoy the sights of the city, you're free to do that as well. I have to get back to work.
Yeah.
So you feel free to come back whenever you are ready to help me out. But I do appreciate you doing this. All of you.
Of course.
And she looks to the rest of you. Hold on. And she looks to you, Willow, and she says, you might you might want to take this. And she hands you a belt. Now, it's small enough to fit around you as it stands. Like, just around your waist.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, you're gonna get a lot of looks from city police as long as you continue to look like that. Just put this on. And don't question it, just move on with it.
Okay.
Chkunk. You feel a strange presence enter your body. Just like it irradiates from toes to top of head. And all of a sudden, you feel yourself growing. Are you getting bigger? And what's happening to your wings? And you see as you go from tiny little fairy Willow into 5'6", kind of small build, long hair. Your wings are substantially smaller and small enough to fit under a shirt or under a cape. And standing on your own 2 feet,
Oh.
you have been humanified.
The worst thing that can happen to somebody.
Looking good.
As Samori looks at you and goes, the city police don't take too kindly to fairies, especially fairies, and do not take this the wrong way, that look like they used to work for the Petalites. This is for your protection. Just, you don't have to wear it all the time. You don't have to wear it all the time. Just promise me that as long as you're
Yes.
helping me, you will, for your own safety. I don't want to have to represent.
Yes.
I don't want to have to represent you going to prison. I want you to be be helping us.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
Thank you. So,
Yeah, we'll meet you back there in a little bit. You go do you.
of course, thank you, Zog. And she takes your hand and just kind of like gives it a little like, just a little like pleasure to see you again and acknowledgement of your past, and goes back on his way.
So that's Samori.
She's kind of hot.
I did, yeah.
Now, Willow, as
Yes.
for this form that you have adopted, as long as you are wearing this belt, you no longer have a flying speed. But your physical characteristics remain the same as they were when you were a fairy. Everything about like what you were wearing, what you looked like, is the same, except your wings are tiny, and you are every other like aspect of a fairy's racial traits applies, except your
Okay.
flying speed.
It would be a lot funnier if your flying speed was just like 1.
Yeah.
You can move 1 foot
Like
per round.
you can hover, but you can't
Yes.
move. Like
Just a little.
yeah, just
a little.
All right.
We cannot fly, but we glide rather well.
oh, and in that note, because your wings do still work to that extent, you will still be able to like catch yourself from falling. You won't take fall damage in that regard.
Ooh.
But you can't just like move. You can't like freely fly and move anywhere you like.
Okay.
And yeah, that covers that aspect of it.
You do look great though, Willow.
Well, thanks.
You do.
We're now the same height.
I know it's weird.
I'm getting heels. And walks off.
Wow, wonderful.
So,
So-
And heels though.
how do you guys
This is
feel
just-
about Samori? Oh,
I'll type it.
I know a thing or two about sexual tension. There's a lot there.
oh, I was not ready for that answer. Never mind.
You wanted my opinion, huh? Sorry. Let
No,
me
I
soften
respect-
it for you, Zog.
No, it's okay. I appreciate the honesty. Is there? I didn't. I didn't think I felt like I was acting desperate the whole time.
Yes, that's
Oh.
an aspect of that tension.
Okay. I appreciate your honesty.
She clearly exercised great restraint herself.
Okay.
For someone who spends most of their time restraining himself, that was basically her begging for it.
Hey,
Jesus, this group.
this is the horny episode.
This episode
This
has
is
gotten
Zog's
very
horny
horny
episode.
very fast.
Everybody's
Burk.
calling Zog out for being overly
Zog's got a-
horny.
A hot
Oh my
wife,
god,
Zog's
it's
got a
almost
hot
like
goddess,
hi,
Zog's got-
Bradley.
Oh my god. It's almost like.
Um,
There you go.
I
So-
purposefully did not bring my flirty characters into
dude,
this.
what do you guys want to start with? I guess.
We should head back and question everyone there.
Okay.
Yes.
I would also like to snoop in the office a bit.
I can be a fly on the wall
You could.
and go.
Agreed on
"Ooh,
both
Sneaky,
fronts.
sneaky,
Oh yeah,
sneaky.
you could still polymorph. Yeah.
Read on
Yes.
both, yeah.
Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky.
Willow,
Yeah.
would you be interested in chatting with some rats?
Always.
See if any of the city rats saw anyone coming and going with a book in the last couple weeks?
Perhaps the rats within the building would know better.
Even better.
Mhm.
That's how Acolyte Thirsty discovered that her roommate was altering her clothing when she wasn't there.
Oof.
Many wild things happen in an elven monastery.
I can only imagine.
Yes.
Oh, like a man drinking. Sorry.
Elven
all right,
Monastery is the name of my next ska band, guys.
Monastery. There sounds to be a lot of drama coming from that.
All right. Well, we all got our plans. What time of the day is it? It's like a good question.
It's
Like,
about it's like 2:00 in the afternoon.
okay. So we got some daylight.
Cause it's 2 in the afternoon, and your eyes are the size of the moon. It's getting real soon. All right. Anyway,
So how are we actually? Let's figure this out while we're all a group because we tend to wander. No. Excuse
bless
me.
you.
Bless
Bless
you.
you.
Thank you.
Alas.
Sleeping. Sorry.
Mhm.
Sleeping arrangements. I'm gonna be making my trek down to the boat. I don't care if anyone else does, but if anyone's picking up a room, just let us know what room, like where you guys are staying, so we can find each other. Because we might be dealing with some bad people, and I don't want to just wake up and be like, I'm sure blah 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 is fine, and then you guys are kidnapped.
I'll go back to the ship
Okay.
so I can take my belt off and sleep in my hammock.
I had no intention of staying in this city.
I'd say the boat would be safer for all of us.
Okay. I'm just saying if you guys want to. Okay. Nope. more than-
Dippy, my burrow is too far away to spend the night there, right? That would be like
It would be a
the
trek.
trip would
Yeah.
be
It would
too
take.
long. Okay.
It would probably take the rest of daylight to make it to your burrow, and if you wanted to find specifically where you were staying, it would take even longer. So, excuse me. So,
I'm still up in the air.
considering how close the boat dock is to where you relatively were just now, the boat would be a good option for all of you, but the charge for the boat in the dock is for the boat.
Not for us.
They
But we're staying on our own boat.
because you
Well,
can't
any
really,
reason-
you know how people are like arrested in the subway for like sleeping in the stations in the subway at night.
Yeah.
There's people like that in the
Oh.
There's
Okay.
people like that
Never
in the
mind.
underground like boat situation. Like
Assholes.
unless with the exception, with the caveat that a houseboat, specifically designated as such, can be lived in the parking underground, but the charge is like double because it's as a houseboat. Your boat is not a houseboat, so it would not be designated
No, it's a
as
home
such.
boat. Thank you.
It's a
It's
home
more like
boat.
it's more like an RV boat.
Yes.
It kind of, it's a bus boat.
It's a literal mobile home.
Yeah.
All right. Never mind. Strack all that.
Do we have a Noah guy rule for the campaign?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Could I roll a Noah guy for this area?
You do not know how long I've been waiting for somebody else to use the Noah guy rule. So,
Because I've been wanting to use it
For
the whole
those
time
of you
we've been
watching
here,
at
this is a good
home.
opportunity.
for those of you watching at home, I have a lot of home rules in my campaign, and one of them is specifically, oh, it's pinned. Hold on, where is it? I pinned the house rules that we use. The rule for I Know a Guy is that you can create one NPC in world to solve a very specific problem that the players do not seem to have an answer to. We collaborate on the NPC and visit it at earliest convenience. The feature does not apply to a character's family members. Is the person that you were going to know going to be a family member?
I mean, I don't think that my one sister would live in this area. My other sister lives out of the city, and all my other siblings are too young, and I don't have any other siblings
So
behind besides
you
my mom,
have
so not family.
You have one for the whole game. If you want to use it now, you absolutely positively can.
I don't see when I'd ever else want to use it. Yeah, I'm looking for someone that we can trust to stay with that won't have a problem with Faye.
I think I know a guy. So, you
Did you
immediately
roll?
remember. You don't have to roll. I'll create. You give me what you want out of this NPC, and I'll fill in the rest.
I'm thinking that like I don't know how like prevalent tabaxi are in this city.
Not very at all.
So I'm thinking like as a kid, maybe I met a tabaxi from another family, and we just kind of we don't really like each other, but we like have that, you know, we're the same, so we'll do things for each other in like return for things. And I this person happens to owe me a favor from, I don't know, maybe I got him out of a tight spot in an alley at some point, and so they just come to mind because they're in the area, and I know that they have a place to stay that could
All right.
accommodate us.
Hell yeah.
All right.
It's a pretty chill dude.
So when you were young, you met a you met another tabaxi. Then I'm so sorry. I missed a large portion of that because I was looking up names after you said tabaxi.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah. And you
Somebody that
basically-
owes me a favor. Maybe I saved him from an alley event.
You saved them. Okay, I thought that
yeah.
was that they saved.
And so
okay,
they
I
owe
got
me,
you. I got you.
owe me a favor,
Yep.
but we're not like friends.
Yep. Okay.
We tolerate each other at best.
So you pipe up and you say, "I think I know a guy."
I think I know a guy.
As you begin to lead the group from the borough that you're currently in, the I literally just
Puddle
said
Borough?
it again. This is the Puddles Borough. You begin to trek your way a little southwards, going from a borough called the Puddles to the borough known as Royalty Square, which is overshadowing like how average this place is. It's called Royalty Square because this was where like one of the past like empresses of the original Snot Drizzle Empire before it became the country of Snot Drizzle grew up in the area. And I need to start marking these down on my sheet as you come to them. So you ended up in, so you're in the puddle. You were in the puddles to begin with, and you are now going to be in Royalty Square. And as you enter into Royalty Square, there's a lot of like buildings kind of surrounding a large square, plaza, and the market kind of inhabits the center with entrances with like each side of the square has entrances into the underground system, the underground like tunnel system, and you lead them down into there, where you reach the subwaters, and the subwaters, which is my version of the subway that I haven't had a name for this whole time. When you reach the subwaters, there are quite a few people camped out down here. Like, even with what I said earlier, you get arrested if you're sleeping in a station, nothing about the tunnels in between. And there are lots of little carved out areas, mined out areas in the subwaters where people will make up their inhabitants and stay. You make your way through one of the tunnelways, and about halfway down one of the traveling tunnels, where these speedy boats kind of go through, you hang a right into a little carved out threshold tunnel, just, humanoid size. And at the end of this tunnel is a very dark door with three bar slits at eye level, covered from behind. And you look to the group and you're like,
I know a guy, but just... he's a little much sometimes. Just, he owes me a favor. He's not gonna talk about us being here, and if he does, he knows the consequences of that. But he can be a little grating on the nerves. I don't know if he means well, but he doesn't mean harm.
You are giving me a very good base to work with here. As you go up and you knock upon the wooden door.
Hey, come in. Hold on 1 second. And
you hear the slide
And alley
back.
cats come to visit.
well, it's you. It's so good to see you. Hold on. Come in.
And he and the door like opens and you see about 20 different like locks and shutters on this door that
you've added another one.
that he's like collected from like various things that he's like broken into or stolen from. He's just added them to his door. And he's like,
Yes, come in. Yes, all of you. Yes, come on. It's okay. Yes, you're all welcome. You're all safe.
I walk in like I own the place.
Okay.
all right. And he got like a spinning safe lock, like the whole like the dial lock that you would find on the outside of a safe. He managed to attach this to his door somehow.
Yeah, no, that becomes out loud once I see that. And I thought I was paranoid.
So say my name.
What is your name?
Drip of the Sewers, but you may call me Drip.
Rip of this. Who did you name yourself?
Oh, I like cringe a little bit. I'm like, no, Zog, that's.
What?
We'll talk about that later.
As he kind of like so let me describe Drip of the Sewers for you a little bit.
Drip of the Sewers.
Drip of the Sewers is kind of like a crotchety old man. So when you met him, he was like middle-aged,
Yeah.
and you helped him out of a jam because you were coming into your own as the person that you were becoming. He is turned into like this grouchy, persnickety, like old cat, and you imagine when you hear the words like old maid cat, you think of like matted hair and like very thin like features and stuff like that, very like scrawny, and he carries around a cane. He is like a almost like if you drenched a fluffy white Persian cat in sweat and oil and just left it like that for about 20 years. And he's grown very old, and his hair is like matted onto his skin in places and like crunched up and scrangly all everywhere else. He has a very obviously larger than the other eye, which is cataracted and scarred over in one place, and a snaggletooth sticking out of the right side of his mouth. One of his ears is clipped, and the other one is folded. His tail is long and droopy. It is not actively like swinging in the wind anymore. He kind of just drags it along behind him as he walks. And he looks like a hermit who has survived as long as he has with his wits and his paranoia. Just realized that sounded like it got louder. My apologies. That's a little weird. Let me see here. What is making that noise? Oh, it's this. So it kind of like, you're underground now, so the background is underground as you hear kind of the old, oh, let me actually pull up the dungeon here just to get some water dripping noises. Temperature somewhere. Bless you. Bless you.
Bless you again.
I have to dust my office.
So you hear this kind of outside of his place. As he goes,
Yes. Now, you haven't been visiting as often as you should, and I know that you don't have to, but it's so nice whenever you do. Oh, I'm so proud. Look at you. You've grown. You've gotten better. Is that a new earring you have there? Or
I've collected a few things
oh, it's
over my time.
so
my
wonderful.
companions being one of those, Zog, Quinlan, Willow, Burk. There's another one, but he's sleeping right now.
I see. Well, you're all welcome in Drip's little chasm as long as you need. I know that things are tough up top ways, but we'll keep you. I say we. Is there actually someone else here?
and he like looks behind, and he
Just Strip.
Oh, right, of course, there is someone else. You lot. Yes, there's lots of room. Just yes, park up wherever you like. It's all mine, and there's nothing that any of them can do about it.
and he yells like across the room at the door that he just like triple and double and quintuple locked, and no one responds, and he just turns back to you and he says,
So, how long will you be needing to be staying?
Oh, we're doing a little bit of work in the city. I might stop by and see Mom at some point, but for now.
Oh, you
Maybe a
come to
few
see your
nights.
mother again? Absolutely. When you see her, tell her Drip said hi for me, could you?
Of course I will.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Well, I'm going to go back to my knitting. If you need anything, then you just, please, let me know.
and he turns and like walks. He doesn't walk with a cane, but he walks like he looks like he has a cane, and he just keeps his arm on his back like this, and he just like waddles over to the corner of the room where he picks up a ball of yarn and begins to play with it, and then knits with it, and
Ellie's like, God, this is not a good representation of my phrase. What is happening? Why did I bring them here? Like, he's having a moment, and it's just like, I can show you to where the sleeping section is. It's this way.
And as you open it up, you see, quite literally, a sunken building. Up top, things get covered and repaved all the time because there are sinkholes, because there are offshoots of the calamity, the cataclysm meteor that made giant cavernous holes underneath this, especially this part of the city. One of them swallowed up an entire building that, rooms and all, is preserved from the day that it sank. And there are living quarters and rooms just kind of... It's rooms kind of like a hotel, but, you know... there's no, like, walls separating the beds from each other or anything, like... Drip has kind of chipped away at the interior to make it as open as possible so that nobody can spy on him. And
it's like hostel vibes. Like,
a very obvious spot where Drip sleeps, and I just go, look, don't sleep too close to his bed. He tends to scratch in his sleep.
Mm-hmm. As he so
I
you
try to
have
say
found
quietly, knowing he's right on the other side of the toilet.
Yeah. And from the background you hear somebody say my name. Thank you.
Zog being in this place full of random things and uncomfortable is just gonna cast locate object again and hope he got lucky for that notebook.
On the book?
Yeah.
You said 1,000 feet.
1,000 feet.
Okay. How far you've traveled? There would be some overlap with an area you already checked. This circle would stretch farther south.
Okay.
Trying to think here.
Willow, you can take off the belt whenever you're in here. Drip is, I mean, as you can tell, not one to share information with people.
Oh, thank God.
Zog.
Yes.
Higher or lower?
Lower.
I rolled the same number. How do I do this? How do I rule that?
The book is in my hands now.
Yes.
You
Within
do not
5 feet of you.
You do not catch a
Two
magical
blips.
you do not catch a magical whiff of the book.
Okay. Okay.
But man,
all right, I can roll him off the suspect
you
list.
were this close. But
Well, I don't know that, but
yeah. You don't know that. So,
I like take a step in one direction and I get like this faintest blip, but then it's gone as I like walk back again.
yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't be too far off with that assumption. Maybe, possibly. With how this just ended up here, no, it could have been, but it's a hard no. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All good. I'm just gonna keep doing this. This is the best Zog has for finding it before we get talking to everybody.
So, one thing you do notice is there is for lack of a better way of putting it, a spot on the floor that looks like where sunlight comes in. And there is a pole that like shoots up from where this building is to the surface and is covered by a glass dome, so that whenever light is hitting it, it like gets directed down the hole and into a little spot on the ground that determines whether it's daylight or whether the sun is set. So right now it is dimmer than it was earlier, so it's maybe like 4:30 by the time you notice it, and the sun is setting quick.
So I wouldn't mind going back to the law firm because I know those lawyers work late. But if you guys want to call it in for a night, I'm not offended.
Oh, the night. As you hear coming from the room, like behind, from his initial opening room, you hear Drip, and he's like,
Oh, yes. The nightlife of this city is active and wild and bustling. You really should go out and leave me alone for a longer period of time than you already have.
I mean, we'll be back.
I do.
Like,
Of course, yes. I'm here to protect you and your group. I do like to do my own things every once in a while.
Yeah,
What do
Drip, of course, Drip. We can get out of your hair for a while. We'll come back around, like, late.
All
And
right,
Ali's
all right.
already headed toward the door to start unlocking it, like, it needs to get out of here.
All right, I like the sound of it. I like the sound of it, Allie. It's so good to...
Thanks for being so hospitable.
And thank you for being the first guest I've had in about 2 weeks. And
that feels shorter than I imagined.
Allie looks at the dog and goes, it might not have actually been a person.
Oh.
It could have been literally anything besides people.
Or his own imagination.
Yeah, it could have been lice, fleas. It could have been another person. It could have been his imaginary
Could
friend.
have been a
it could have
hallucination.
It could have just been a dust mote that looked specifically very big, like.
Yeah, like a really big dust bunny. So.
Or
Trick of
a
the light.
matting of fur that fell out.
Yeah.
Thinks he had a baby.
Oh, it's good.
One time he got a mirror and he thought he had a guest for 2 weeks.
Found a mirror.
Amazing.
Kept trying to free the cat from the other
I
side.
love the mat of fur falls off. He thinks he had a baby. He just looks down. I'm gonna call you Drip Jr. And he still has Drip Jr. like sitting on a shelf somewhere, and he's just
I
like.
love him so much.
Poor man lost his mind eons ago.
Oh,
He's
you
just
have,
kind of old.
you have blessed me with a gift this day. I fucking love what you have created for me. Drip of the
love him.
sewers.
I love him.
This is why Noah Guy is one of the best home brewers.
Oh,
absolutely.
I love it. So, you now have lodging, independent of your boat, in the city. So, now that you have time, is there anything you're doing before you go back to the law firm? Because I'm just gonna, like, smash cut there if there's not.
No.
Allie spends a second to explain to Zog the like process of naming Tabaxi children.
Yes,
So that if
please.
he ever meets another Tabaxi, he's not confused. I was just like, so the parent usually has them, and then the first thing that comes to mind is usually like a noun or a verb, and then they take that noun and verb and they turn it into a statement, and then that statement becomes an embodiment of who they are. And sometimes they take their parents' name, like my dad's name is Shadow, so my mom made my name Shadow of the Alley. That's why I go by Alley instead of Shadow, because and then you got layers on top of that. Like the siblings are usually in the same like political groups. So like you've got my siblings, you've got like Remnant of History and Dawn of Memory. They're twins, so they have similar names. You know, but like the longer the name is, the more prestigious the cat is.
Okay. So, Allie the cat feels like a pretty long name.
Shadow of the Alley. I mean,
Shadow-
it's mostly
Shadow
filler
of the
words.
Shadow of the Alley of the cat. Or is there no cat in your
Well,
name?
there's no cat.
Oh, okay, my bad. No, all right. The cat's in you. Inside you are two cats. One of them is Shadow. The other is of the alley.
Oh no.
I was like, you found her. I was like, he tried, and that's what's important. He tried
I'm
to understand.
trying. I'm
Some
trying
people don't
so
even
hard,
try.
and it's not working.
I love it.
You have the spirit.
You have the spirit.
He'll get there, maybe
Okay.
eventually.
The spirit
Are
of
there
Zog.
two orcs inside you?
Yes. One of them is Zog. The other one is Zug, apparently.
Zug Gahunga. Secret third son of Bug Gahunga. No.
Oh my god.
Ugg, Bug, and Zug. Oh no.
I'm not even gonna try to get into any other namings for different races, so like tieflings,
Well,
anything.
wait. Now I need to, like, Quinlan. why are you named Quinlan?
Oh no.
I am not drunk enough for that conversation.
Okay, Willow.
What?
Why are you named Willow?
The tree?
And- yeah. Yes, you are.
Take an inspiration point for that, please. in fact, all of you get an inspiration point.
Brilliant.
Oh my god.
But Zog, where did you get your name from?
I don't know. I pull out my setting stone and I call my mom on the way to the lover. Hey,
Hello, sweetie.
hey, Mom, I just got a quick question.
Oh, hi. It's so good to talk
Where-
to you again,
I
Zoggy boy.
know. I'm in Urk City. I'm seeing Samori right now.
You
But I
are? Wait, you're
am.
seeing some more? That's
I'm just,
wonderful.
yeah, no, she needed some help on a job. And I was just curious, how did I get my name
Oh, okay.
Zog?
What?
Why am I named Zog? Or Zogathan?
Well,
I'm just curious if there's like
sweetie.
a story behind the name.
well,
or,
sweetie,
like-
I don't think I rightly know. I just,
Okay.
it sounded like
I
a
just came
lovely
out and-
name. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I certainly didn't take that name from your father. I mean, he was at, and you like hang up before she's like done. Like she just rambles
Yeah.
on. Like,
I hang up and go, I'm named after a dragon.
Was that on speakerphone? Please tell
Insight.
me that it was on speakerphone.
I was definitely on speaker.
yeah, it definitely was.
Oh, it was.
I'm named
Yes, yes,
after
you
a
were.
dragon.
I was like, I've never
Whatever you
heard
need
the
to tell
story of
yourself to
Zog and
sleep
the
at
dragon.
night.
Whenever you need to tell yourself.
So,
So,
Burk, I do you want to chime in?
I don't know.
A
Okay.
silent
That's like
fist
asking me
bump.
who my dad.
Oh, okay. That's why I was hesitant
Hold
to
it for us.
ask.
Yep. All good. All good. We're good. We're good.
mhm.
I also don't know who my dad is, so that's any consolation.
Not me.
You just
I
said
fucking
his
love my
name
dad.
was Shadow.
No, I know his name.
Yeah,
I never
okay,
met
okay,
him.
okay.
Never knew
He
the guy.
disappeared like this.
Looking at the two of you.
His full
Wanna
name is
trade?
One Without Shadows.
Wait, what did you say, Rhys?
Looking at the two of them after they say they don't have dads in their lives. You want to trade?
Oh, fuck.
Not having one. It's one less person I have to send money to.
Currently searching for mine, so I don't know.
To be determined.
To be determined.
Like, can I take a?
Depends on who my dad fully is.
Did we talk about your parents, Willow? I don't know. I don't know that we ever did.
Not the parents, but the sister, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Go back to the lawyer's
Fairies
office.
just reproduce asexually. They just reproduce by mitosis. They just like just
That's funny.
they just divide and conquer.
Wait, you have a dad?
You have a dad? You guys,
Y'all got
you guys are
parents.
getting paid? You guys have dads?
What's the purpose of a father? Who's to say?
Who's to say?
That was Sundial popping up in the bag.
What is the purpose of a father without missing a beat? To go get milk and never return.
Oh my god.
That's pretty accurate, actually.
So, smash cut to law firm outside. as you are now like standing in there in the building again. Some more. I love this group. I love this group. As you're all kind
I
of
love you
standing
too.
outside of the law firm door, rather, and Samori invites you inside once again. The sun is now much lower in the sky. It's about to fully set. Right. And Samori, it looks like Samori has gathered up all of the employees into, like, one place. She didn't line them up or anything, but she definitely, like, gathered them all around, like, one of the large tables in the center of the room.
I've been doodling all session.
Oh my god.
Those are
Oh.
good.
It's cute.
Willow, you're, in your human form.
In my tired form,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. All right. So, Samori looks at y'all and says, like, all right, I have, gathered everyone together for, to begin this investigation, I suppose, would be the term for it. Just, we need all, she looks to her employees and goes, you know, our careers and livelihoods are dependent on this, so I would appreciate y'all's full cooperation on this. Please, and turns back to you and goes, feel free to talk to him at will, you know? That's just whatever you feel, however you feel like doing this.
All right. Back. How do I word this? Flashback to us before getting in. I'm like, we need a game plan of like, I'll talk to Kim and try to get info on Wit. Where's everyone else going?
Talking to the rats.
Talking to the rats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm going to assist in calling the rats. And then I would like to do some snooping in the office.
All right.
Burk, would you like to join me on questioning the partner?
Oh, most certainly.
All right. Back in the law firm.
So which job positions were each of them again?
What's that?
Like, were we?
So-
Never mind.
So the goblin is the receptionist. The Urk,
I don't know if that's you.
there's a goblin receptionist named Pauldron, an Urkish accountant named Damzu, an impish bookkeeper named Kaimos or Kim, the attorney partner that she just entered into law, the
I needed,
practice
like,
partnership with is Fisker Engiz.
Thank you.
The former employee is Wit. We don't know anything. You don't know anything else about Wit.
I had to screenshot the staff thing. Thank you.
There you go.
It's backwards, but you know.
It's forwards for us.
Oh, is
I
it?
got
Okay,
it.
great.
Yes.
Awesome.
I sincerely thought you were writing backwards for a second.
There you go. So, the floor is yours. We'll go one at a time with those game plans, starting with the rats with Willow and Allie. You just kind of pull out your pipes of the sewers.
I'm gonna like go into like the back, so we're not like by the stairs.
Sure.
And just play my pipes.
Incredible.
Pipe sound. Calling any rats. I think the actual description is 3 charges. I can control rats within 30 feet while playing the pipe. I have to make a charisma check contested by the swarm's wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
They are friendly and are my companions as long as I play the pipe. They obey my commands. Yeah.
So as you are playing the pipe, you see about 5 rats crawl from various nooks and crannies of the office, and they'll all kind of line up at Allie's feet. And a Willow. Just speak with animals?
Yes.
All right.
I got a 20 on the charisma check. Ignore my other rolls; they were wisdoms by accident because I forgot that I was rolling charisma.
Let me make doubly sure. I don't know if, hold on. Hello. Yes. Okay.
Hello.
I changed it on stream to the voice mod because I don't know if the stream heard my receptionist, like little radio voice earlier.
Okay.
And it's still working. Yes, I turned on the voice changer. I do custom pitch.
And I sound tiny.
Adorable.
Let me bring that down a little bit.
A little bit. There we go. There we go. All right. Oh, someone who understands us.
Hello.
Hi.
Got a quick question for you guys.
Okay.
Did you see any weird thing going on with the book being taken out of this building? It's like big.
People taking books places. Oh, right. That's what half of the people in this building do.
Touche. What about someone that you've never... No, that can't be said either, because people...
Mm-hmm.
Willow,
It was yes.
could you ask them if there was ever a book taken from the office, the
Yes.
private office, out of the building?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Was there a book taken out of the big private office? Out of the building?
You know, there was a time, not a week ago, where we heard some shuffling and scrambling noises, didn't we? Yeah, we did. And the thing was that it sounded like they were rustling around for something. Oh, they were. Well, they kind of didn't fit into our little rat-sized hole, and we weren't paying that much attention. But it sounded like it was about the middle of the night, and there was some shuffling and some rustling, and eventually the person just walked out the door. We didn't hear them lock it. Meaning, oh,
Okay.
Meaning that the person probably didn't have access to keys to the office. By their estimation.
Jeez. Do you know if there were, like, any other rats, bugs, flies, whatever, around that possibly could have seen it?
well, hold on. And
And you see one of them skitter over to the door, like where the entrance to both this, like the larger area is, and you see a little mouse hole next to the door.
Shirley! Shirley, come out! And you see... Hold on.
You see Shirley kind of saunter out, big fat rat, big like just a ratty with a fatty. No, that is.
I'm gonna fuck that rat.
Yes, well, what can I do for you?
I'm just over here playing the pipes so they don't disappear.
About a week ago, did you see anything out of the ordinary? Someone ruffling through something and then leaving
Well,
in the middle of the night?
I was nibbling on a piece of mold from the apartment upstairs. And I was looking out of my little hidey hole, and I saw a shadowy figure. It looked like they were holding some kind of big book. And it seemed like they were about average size. Walked out the door. shut it behind him and didn't lock it.
And you didn't get any other details. Just the average size.
Well, I didn't see any other defining features in the dark, if that's what you mean.
Yeah.
Snow.
I guess you can rule out any really tall folks, though.
Or really short people.
Or really short folks, you're right. Not anybody my size, at least.
Well, of course I wouldn't go after you guys. You guys are awesome.
Aw, you're too kind. Aw.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
Stop.
Go and eat all the mold you want.
Thank you for talking to us.
Absolutely.
All right, I got a piece of carrion back in my hole that I gotta get working on again.
Good luck.
Okay, goodbye.
And I'm so glad I have access to this now.
Sherry's my new favorite NPC. NP rat.
Surely.
NP rat. NPR.
I was just gonna say that.
NPR is brought to you by non-player rats.
Opposed to all of us who are the player rats.
So,
That explains.
Burk and Quinlan. If you,
All right.
you are questioning FntasyLover at this point. There is a part of me that just so badly wants to recreate the Game Changer episode and just be like, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, yada yada yada. Is this man perfect? No, I killed him. Yeah.
It's one of my favorite moments of that show. Yeah, I killed him.
I killed him. Yeah. All right. Anyway, so Fisker looks at you all and is like, well, I'm more than willing to help you out with whatever investigations or questioning you're going to be doing, but you are talking to a lawyer here. I know I have my rights just as much as you have yours.
Already coming off the back sketchy.
Chaos, how do you want to handle this?
I mean, with him playing it that way, I mean,
Good cop, bad cop.
This man is a lawyer.
Bad cop, bad cop.
He's not. He's willing to
he's
cooperate, but he's not going to incriminate himself of anything, let alone anything that you think he might have did that he didn't do.
Well, we don't know he didn't do it.
Exactly, and that's for him
So
to
he's
know
not
and for
gonna
you to find
incriminate
out.
himself if he didn't, even if he did do it, he's not going to incriminate himself.
You know how criminal defense lawyers are kind of like the worst kind of lawyer? Because they're the people who will set murderers and pedophiles free with convincing evidence. That's what
I'm
you're
about to
working
go
with
grab my
here.
criminal justice notebook. I'm
Hey.
taking criminal justice this year, so the
That is
temptation
true.
there. I'm gonna go do that. Oh gosh, he's not gonna freely give us information.
Are we off in our own little room?
You are on the top floor. You can bring him to anywhere in this room that you like. The only places that are fully private outside of this room are Samori's office, where the ledger was taken from. And there is a broom closet on the top floor above Samori's office.
Ooh, my guy doesn't even have an office.
He just works out in the open, like, again, they're trying to acquire the next floor above them for a reason. Actually, wait, thinking about the layout of this building, let me change that just a hair. The main office that y'all stepped into and met them all in is separated from the stairs down that lead downwards into the other floors of the building by a hallway. And the stairs are kind of in a central column where the elevator is off on one side, so that takes up some space, an elevator and stairs. But on the other side, where the elevator would not be, is a separate room where, and this would be true of both floors 5 and 6, even with the floor cut out of the main office on both. There is separate rooms on 5 and 6. One of them is Samori's living rooms. One of them is Samori's, like, living and sleeping quarters, and the other is what would presumably be Fisker's. And then there is a private office attached to the main room, as well as, like, a broom closet above that private office in the main room. And the wall of bookshelves just kind of extends back in, like, a U shape to follow the contour of the building and the broom closet. So that's where that is, yeah.
Okay. So, this morning, would it be alright if we used your office?
I don't see a problem with that. Go right ahead.
Thank you. Is it Wesker or
Fisker.
Fisker?
Fisker.
Like the scissors brand. Fiskers. Fisker.
Fisker.
Yes.
Please come with us.
It would be my pleasure. He follows you into Samori's private office, which I just realized is still playing Drips in Water. Hold on.
It's a real leaky office.
It's a leaky office. There we go. There we are. So, you bring him into the investigator's office, Samori's office, and you have him alone with you two. And you see inside Samori's office, you see a nice desk, name placard, a couple of seats for clients. You see some against the back wall. Okay, let me see if I can describe this office. You walk in, immediately in front of you, chairs. You walk in. As you're looking, you see closest to you a couple of chairs, desk, back wall is a window, a paneled window looking over the city, the parts of the city that you can see. Against beneath the window, against that back wall, chest of drawers, and then on either side there are a couple of glass display cases. They just kind of stand from floor to ceiling of glass display cases. Some of them hold books, some of them hold trophies, some of them hold knickknacks. Then, like, to your immediate right as you walk in, the front wall is just, you have some bookshelves and, like, cabinetry in here, of which the ledger shelf in question, or the ledger drawer in question, is open, revealing that it is empty. Like, this is where it would have been. Samori did that, like, beforehand.
Gonna go ahead and take a seat behind her desk and as I'm passing by, indicate one of the seats on the other side and tell him to have a seat.
Making the power play.
Just gonna stand in front of the door, just arms crossed.
Okay. There you go.
Stand a little bit taller.
Heels against the doorframe. All right.
No.
Sure.
You know why we're here.
No, actually, I don't. Could you refresh my memory? What was that? Oh, thank you, Eagle Talon 2001-5. 20-0-15. That's a lot of numbers. Thank you for following.
Now, the reason we're in this office is for a little bit of privacy because we need to talk to all of you about recent events that have taken place that Samori has hired us for.
Recent events. Encapsulates a lot of things that happened recently. I got a cup of coffee recently. I just moved my new papers into my new desk
Look,
out in the main hall.
I don't want to beat around the bush.
Then don't. Why are we here, Mr.
Flux. Flux.
Mr. Flux?
It would seem that Samori has hired us to ascertain the local whereabouts of a ill-begotten ledger that was removed from this very room.
The ledger. Right. The ledger that was stolen. Little less than a week ago.
So
The
you
ledger
do
that
know about it.
The ledger that was stolen less than a week ago that Samori informed us all about. Yes. The one that we have carried out all of our recent business in, and refused to make a copy of for some godforsaken reason. I have no idea why she hasn't hired a copier. Yes, I know of the ledger. I know that it was supposed to be in this drawer behind me, and points, without even looking back at it, points at the drawer that it would be in. And I know that it was secreted out of this office sometime in the last at some point 6 days ago. I've been made aware, and I can assure you that my best interests working for this law firm are not to commit more crime within it than is necessary. What would I want to do with a ledger of all of our company dealings and business? I'm part of it. I need to ensure its safety just as much as she does.
That is true. However, it could have only been taken by somebody who had access. And you're just getting your start. When we first get our starts in our careers, we tend to make drastic choices, not always for the best. But it has been known to happen.
Indeed.
Now, seeing as you are the new partner, not only would you have the most to gain as a young, fresh-faced lawyer, but also there is something I would assume. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I am not much one for the law.
Clearly.
It's understanding how it works too in depth. But what I do know is the code of ethics. As someone who is governing in a monastery, there are rules.
Ah, the religious
abide by
type.
them. I prefer spiritual.
Whatever you say.
I tend not to get involved with the affairs of the gods. But that is my own personal taking. I say these things because in a similar situation, one would assume that you would split your caseloads. So, any of your clients that she does not have direct dealing with may have copied a key, snuck in, thinking you couldn't win their case because you're a fresh face. Or trying to frame one of you.
He eases
it all
up.
Goes on and on.
He eases up. When you transition over from what is basically a beratement to reasoning of one of his clients, then he sees the angle and he like crosses his arms and folds back in his chair a little.
Oh, finally he's matching me.
Yeah. You
So
do
you
bring
can
up
see
a fabulous point. Well, I'm impressed. All right. Let me think of the clients that I've had over the past 2-3 months. Oh, right. Even if I could think of them, I wouldn't want to share those details with you, for fear of jeopardizing their case. I do appreciate it. My clientele are facing charges amongst which about half of them are innocent, and half of them I will prove them innocent. They don't need any added pressure.
It's not pressure. If you believe one of them is truly capable of this, we're not the lawman. We're here to help you maintain your business. You will not be able to continue to conduct your cases without the ledger. Therefore, it stands to reason that it would be in your best interest to see it returned, and if a client is willing to steal from you, they're willing to kill you and everyone else in this office. When they don't want to be caught, they won't be. Or they will take everyone in their sphere down with them.
Between colleagues, peers, off the record.
Of course.
He scooches forward in his chair, closer to the desk.
And I lean in.
I'm not sure if you were aware of an employee who was recently relinquished of his duties within our firm. His name was Whit.
Yes.
The reason he was relinquished is because he was arrested and charged with vandalism and larceny. Being the person that I am, I took on his defense case. But I would never think him the type to steal from the place he used to work. But I wouldn't put it past him either. There is also a case that I took not but a month ago.
of a man being charged on several counts of manslaughter, reckless negligence. But he did have a sticky finger charge added on to his sentence to hopefully increase the time of his imprisonment, not knowing that if I could disprove that if one is disproved, all are disproved under the charge. He walked free not 2 weeks ago. With my help. Promised me I'd never see him again. Well, I suppose he could have had a vendetta.
Did something happen while you were working that case that would make him seek revenge against you?
Not that I would remember. Not that I would lead to be reasonable motive to steal a company ledger. The Sticky Fingers charge was for rings, small things that wouldn't be missed. But the old lady he took them from missed them enough.
Yes. Understandable.
All of my other...
Is there anyone here within the office that has been acting out of character?
In all of my honesty and grandeur? In all of my honesty and candor, I can tell you, no, there is not. Everyone here is fine as a saint. They all love Samori, and Samori loves them all in return. Well, Kim is a little upset with the situation, but Kim keeps to herself, does her job. I wouldn't suspect Kim of anything of the sort, of being hellborn. She knows much worse. She's experienced much worse. She's just happy to be out of a situation.
Understood.
And as for, well, myself, I assure you, what I do to make a name. My image is none of my concern. In fact, the more people that know my image, good or not, the more people come to me, the more money that we as a firm make.
Should not be truth and justice your goal, and not money?
Earning a penny for letting a person go, earning a penny for letting a person go to jail, versus earning a lifetime for letting them walk free, can corrupt any man. I have sent just as many people to their deaths as I have let them walk free. Because I didn't do my job. Everyone deserves a second chance, do they not?
Yes, but a second chance to do what?
Turn their life around, become a model citizen, spend their days in the working camps, as opposed to rotting in a cell. I assure you, my good man, whatever I do
I do for the company. I do for Samori.
You have such a strong loyalty. I'm curious what she's done to earn such fierce loyalty in such a short amount of time.
She is a promising young face in a crowd full of decrepit old men. Decrepit old, well, Urks, as it were. Pardon the face. She's new. She has a fresh perspective. I like new. Now.
Yes, and what happens when you get bored, I wonder. But that won't be my problem to deal with. That'll be hers. Maybe someday.
You're quite
Maybe
right.
not. For now, that'll be all, thank you. Would you please be so kind as to, send in Kim as you leave?
With pleasure. As he stands and he kind of adjusts his coat. You would make a damn fine investigator, Mr. Flux. I'll put in a good word with Samori. And he turns and leaves.
Yeah, Burk moves out of the way.
Mm-hmm. As he, kind of looks at you, just walks out. And it looks and gives, a smirk of, and then walks out.
I walk behind him out, close the door behind him for a moment, look at Burk.
Could I try to get a read on that smirk?
Sure. Insight check?
Yes. I'll do it on this. Yeah, what is my insight? Let's roll it on Dandy Real and let's see how the fucking thingy goes. 13?
For all you know, he was impressed that a man of Quinlan's stature could hire a man of yours to be their muscle. Oh, shit! Fonzie! How in the hell are you doing, man? It is so good to see you. Thank you for the 10 gifted subs! Wow, that is
so much.
incredible. Thank you so much. Fonzie, it's so good to
amazing.
see you. Thank you for supporting the stream. And that, yeah, we absolutely appreciate that. We're gonna be getting some notifications for a little bit here. But yeah, that's gonna be
Okay.
oh. Yeah, no, it's gonna keep going. So yeah. Lots of no idea what's going on. It's a D&D game. You should watch. It's fun.
Yes.
And yeah, but yeah, it was mainly just a smirk of he's impressed with your physical stature rather than anything that he did.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. There you go.
We are the muscle. So
Yeah.
if he had stepped out of line, his head would have been crushed from both sides.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah, with that said, we move on to, Zog, you said you would talk to Kim yourself.
Yes, I'd assume during that conversation I've been hanging out with Kim.
So yeah, your conversation with Kim will be simultaneous to theirs with Fisker until the point where Fisker leaves, and then Fisker will grab Kim. So Zog, as you stand,
Yes.
Kim Pauldron and bless you.
Thank you.
Damzu, Pauldron, and Kymos all stand kind of in the same spot.
Yeah.
If you wanted to talk to just Kim, you could drag her over to like the top floor if you wanted, or something like that measure.
No, Kim was the one upstairs doing books.
Yeah, she's
right?
the imp.
Right.
She's the imp.
Yes.
Who does the books?
Zog, as like everyone's kind of splitting up, doing their detective work. And Kim's one that I've met before.
Yes.
Is there any separate stream that shows a game map or anything? We have battle maps that will come up when we're doing it. Right now, this has been a very RP,
very
heavy
just
session.
Lots of role play. Just yeah.
It'll all be on stream when we get into like battle maps.
If
and
we
stuff.
do battles, yeah. But
yeah,
the rest of this is mainly just theater of the mind stuff.
Yes. Yeah. So, he's gonna just walk in by and be like, Kim, what are you working on up here? What's going on?
Oh, well, you know, just getting together some of the pretty bindings and making sure they look all nice and neat.
And as he's saying it, he is like walking towards where Kim was, hoping Kim follows.
Yeah, and she does.
Just walking and talking. Just once when we are upstairs, kind of more out of earshot, is when Zog's gonna. So you know, we're here about the ledger that's missing.
Of course.
Yeah. I don't look. I've met you a couple times now. You've always been so sweet, so I don't want to waste your time and be this like big brooding fucking guy.
She goes from like apple red to like blush pink red in like a moment, just like,
you're too kind to an imp such as me.
Oh, don't talk bad on yourself. I don't like when people say bad things about my friends. I was just, you and I both know, if fingers are getting pointed, the first one's being pointed at Whit.
I can see why. With his recent criminal activity, it seems even more pertinent.
Yeah, I mean, are you still talking to him? Do you know where he's hanging out lately?
Whit is, he's been around. I, don't really have his current whereabouts flitting around in my brain, but I talk to him every once in a while. I mean, Fisker is still technically handling his case, so...
All right, Dippy. Above table. I have Zone of Truth. I am not a sorcerer. How many inspiration points would you want for Zog to settle spell this?
How many do you have?
I don't like it when you ask me that.
I actually need a reminder of how many.
I have been stockpiling. I'm up to 10.
10?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to have like 3, 4. No, you have 10.
I have been stockpiling them.
Taking a technique from a whole nother class is an expensive venture.
I'm a champion of a god, if that helps.
Give me a successful insight check.
Okay.
On her and 5 inspiration points, and we'll go from there.
That's a 17 on insight.
Okay, I'll call that a success.
5 inspiration points. And we have a subtle zone of truth.
Subtle spell zone of truth. No vocal component, no material component. You only just make the flex of your fingers for zone of truth, and it gets cast. They still have to save against it.
Yes, they do.
What is your saving throw?
16.
Rolled a 4 on the die. That's a failure. Okay. How big is the zone of truth as well, if you don't mind my asking?
15-foot radius, but I don't remember if radius is half the circle
half.
or the whole circle.
Radius is half.
Oh, so it's pretty fucking big.
Extending from you, it goes 15 feet.
Yes,
Which would just about encapsulate.
We're upstairs by ourselves. I don't think there's anyone up there. Like, we're in the library area.
15 feet directly below you, another conversation is happening.
Oh. You can roll.
What was your save again, sorry?
16.
Okay. Burk and Rhys, you can roll against it if you want, but nothing about your candor or questioning would have changed because of a zone of truth. I don't think. Right?
Didn't Rhys lie about their name?
No, Mr. Flux.
No.
His last name is Flux.
Oh, okay.
His last name is Flux. I'm not even giving the man my first name.
Okay. All right. So that happens while I'm just so I don't know. So you can't point me in the right direction of like where I might be able to find him?
Well, there is a place he probably would be. It's where he lives. If
I mean, yeah, that's a really good starting point.
he,
And she can tell. She can tell something's up.
Yeah.
She can't tell.
Oh yeah, no,
what...
she can definitely like feel magic and whatnot, but
she
she
just,
doesn't know
like,
it's from me.
he lives over in the,
Oh, I need to look at my sheet again. Hold on. He lives a little farther north inside the deeper into the Puddles Burrow. He shacking up with a fellow tiefling there. Safe, you know, not irks or anything like. Is it getting hotter in here?
Yeah, and Zog kind of like undoes his overcoat that he wears, showing like his kind of bandolier of weapons on his back. Little more tattoo.
And she looks. She looks and she goes like, I am feeling a little under the weather.
You know the tiefling's name that he's living with?
I think you immediately turned the dynamic a little. She is like a little. She was gonna be all wishy-washy and not sure, and maybe you know trying to protect her friend. Now that she's telling the truth, she's she is an imp after all, you know.
Yes.
And she's kind of like, I think the last time I talked to him, he said that his name is on a sheet of paper here somewhere. Hold on.
It's in one of these books that we have all around us.
It is Kazvir.
I'm sorry. Wait, and he pulls out a little notebook, and he's like, "When was that last time you talked to him?"
About 7 days ago.
Okay. I don't know. Is he doing okay? How'd that conversation go?
He he certainly seemed worried about his case, and he didn't say too much after that, though.
Maybe I should check on him. Even like I don't want the fingers being pointed at him if he's not him. I should. You know, a good time for me to swing by.
You're not gonna like hurt him, are you? Are you?
I don't hurt anyone unless they, like physically try to hurt me first. I'm not that kind of person.
Is that true?
I don't have to say for my own zone of truth.
Do
Do
you?
I?
Wait a minute. I have to double check that. Give me one second.
I'm pretty sure all
now.
persons in the zone of truth have to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
You can willingly fail against it, but that also means you literally have to be honest the entire time you're in it.
All right, let me roll for my own zone of truth.
I don't see zone of truth in your spell list. Where do you have zone?
I have it pulled up right here on my second level.
Am I stupid? Looking at Zog's character sheet.
It's the because it's Z. It's the last spell I have in my second level
there it
spells.
is. There it is. That was weird.
Which is all my second level spells now that I'm looking at it.
That was weird. All right. Until the spell ends, a creature that
All right.
the first time.
So then I will rephrase because I actually
whether each
failed.
creature succeeded or failed. An affected creature is aware of the spell. Yeah. No, you are affected by it.
Yeah. Then I'll rephrase that. We'll go back of I'm not planning on hurting him at all. No, I'm just going to talk to him.
I don't know when he's at home.
Okay.
So I couldn't tell you.
Oh, that's totally fine. I appreciate it. Like I said,
But
I'd
please
much rather
don't make him worried.
I don't. Am I going to worry him?
He's already dealing with a lot for his case.
Yeah.
And Zog,
well,
were you made aware of this case?
Nope. So, which it's totally fine.
Yeah.
Zog. I mean, it's okay. I'm gonna be swinging by tomorrow to try to get him. Is there anything actually I could bring him for the case? Anything he needs while I'm in the area?
You would know if you were aware, wouldn't you?
I don't know what case he has, and I felt like that wasn't my place to ask.
Rhys, the case that was brought up against Wit was for vandalism and larceny. Yes?
And a little sticky fingers.
No, that was the other guy. That was the manslaughter guy.
It was vandalism and larceny.
Reckless endangerment and manslaughter and sticky fingers was the other client, who you did not get a name of, by the way.
Damn it.
No, I was not filled in.
Yeah.
And that conversation was happening while this conversation was happening, so we didn't have time to.
Yeah.
No, no, his case is his own business. I'm worried about this right now, and if I can rule him out, that's one less thing he needs to stress about.
Okay.
But if I can help, also, like, that's kind of why I'm here more than anything, is just helping you guys. So.
You met Wit the last time that you were here.
Yes.
You know that he is... And she tries to say something and can't because of the zone of truth. And she struggles and she wonders what this is coming from. And she says, that actually made me cough.
Oh.
Responsible person.
He definitely has good in him.
Yes.
I'm not here to attack him, and I really hope you know that. It seems like you care about him, and I'm not here to go after him or to put the blame on him. I'm here, if he is a suspect, I can either rule him out quickly, or unfortunately that's case solved. But
what did you do?
Me?
You, and she flies over to the other side of the room fairly quickly.
Yes.
And hits the wall of your zone.
Yep.
And as she passes through it, she like and turns around and like faces you, still flapping in the air above the 5th floor, above the cutout for the 5th floor.
Yeah.
You don't trust me enough? Zog. She shakes her head and floats back down to the bottom floor.
Under his breath, if she has a high enough perception, she might hear it. Zog just goes, "Fuck no."
Oh. Ooh.
We do have some sleepy players that might have to wrap up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
We're at like 3.5 hours.
Yeah, we are. I'm just that happy to be back. Okay.
And then we'll get to do this again next week.
She rolled a very low perception check.
That's good for her.
It would be about that. It would be about that time that Fisker would come out.
I read the first part of that message and got really thrown off for a second. All right. I'm tired too.
Oh my god. It's about that time that Fisker would come out and say, "Hey, Kim, Mr. Flux would like to see you in the office." And, you see her kind of look at Fisker, look back up at Zog, look back down to Fisker. And she just shakes her head. And she begins to slowly, like, back her way to the door of the main office, and that's where we're gonna end the session.
All right.
So, tune in next time when our band of adventurers continues their investigation of the ledger, and we'll see where this business with Wit and Kim goes. But until next time, thank you so much for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure. You can catch us again on the In-Quy'zz-ition on Friday, this coming Friday, on the Dapper D's on Mondays, on Crossroads / the Dark Energy D20 Detectives on Tuesday. And we will see you again on those at same time, same channel. But until next time, thank you so much for watching. Your adventure matters. Roll for your initiative. Goodbye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye. Auf Wiedersehen.